Welcome back to another very special episode of Hobby Titans. The adults are out of the building and we're running it today.
Yeah.
And that's unfair to you, Kat. I'm sorry. We're glad to have you back.
I think we're the same age, so it's okay.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm super excited, of course, to have a bunch of new paints today. We have received the new contrast paints, the new shades from good old James.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, James.
Thank you.
And we get to try all of them. They literally sent us 2 of everything. So
Which is great. So when some go missing, no one's going to notice.
Yeah, exactly. We're watching you, John. Actually, the one person we don't have to be worried about is John, so I think we'll be all right. But look, we have a lot of things to do today. I'm going to be working on my Skaven, trying these contrast, which I already wanted to do, so it feels like a good opportunity. I'm going to be also working on our Kratos, which we have. There's even Necrons on the table. It's a little bit of everything, because we like to show you guys what we're working on.
Yeah.
What are you thinking for today, Kat?
More on the tank that I was painting last week. So just more Legion of the Damned, because I was out of town this weekend, so I didn't really get a chance to touch it.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's looking really good, especially the spirits on it. It really is a nice contrast to the black.
I like him.
So
I like him a lot.
I'm super excited. And look, definitely let us know if you guys have any questions about anything we're working on, about the paints, all that good stuff. I'm looking for the button to press, and
you know,
it's gonna be great.
It's the upper left, to the right.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know what they say? Let's get creative.
Yeah.
Okay, now here is our plethora of projects for today. As you can see, we've got a little bit of everything. We've got Cat's tank, we've got the Stealth Kratos in black there, some Skaven clan rats, which basically just some basing, some warp fire to do some contrast airbrushing with, and of course the contrast paints themselves. So lots to look forward to in today's stream.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about focus on for today?
I am trying to get that dude in the tank painted up, because I have one more spirit that I need to glue in, and it literally goes like in between his arms.
Oh my gosh, really?
I need him painted before I can glue him in. But yeah, I also think this is great, because I don't think I showed this on the glam cam like at the end of the stream last week.
No,
so,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Thank you. It turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to, because I don't know if anyone caught on to it, but I was struggling a little bit with my airbrush clogging a lot.
I think you did a great job despite the circumstances.
I think so too.
And especially with black, like it's such a nice soft black that you have right there.
Yeah.
And it's not boring, which is of course always the big question with black is like how do you not make it look flat? And keep it
Yeah,
interesting.
that was a big thing, because like when I picked it, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks that it's going to be such a boring paint job.
Right.
It's like black with a bunch of fire, and so I wanted it to look nice.
Yeah.
That was important.
Well, especially because you're going to be adding the flames and the glow and all that stuff, you kind of need to do the hard and maybe less fun part of just doing the baseline before you can do all the other stuff. So it's like, well, you just have to do this thing black, but you still want to do a nice job of it. So I think well done there.
Yeah. Now the trick, I think, is to get the dude in the tank to look different from the actual tank, but also keeping him black. So,
Look,
yeah.
I believe in you.
Me too.
Shall we take it away?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Of course, this week Zach is on vacation traveling, but I do believe he's in chat, and unfortunately, he made us make him a mod. So be nice, I guess, you know, if we must. Lots of stuff to work on, lots of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of things going on. I think I'm going to start off with the Kratos, which, if you're not familiar, is the new tank from G-Dubs. It is mostly meant for Horus although it does have 40k rules for those who care about such things. And Bridger was kind enough to build it for me.
Nice.
I was just out of nowhere. He's just like, yeah, we need to get this Horus stuff ready. I'll build a bunch of models for you. I was like,
That's
cool.
always good. Yeah.
So generous.
Someone else built this as well too, and
See,
that's always nice.
Do it.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. It's like things that are free or given are always better than things you paid for. You know? So very excited, and I'm going to be doing it in my fist colors, of course. So that's going to be the yellow, the black. I'm going to start off by doing the black, and then I'm going to mask that off as we do the yellow. And yes, I am starting with a black base coat, so it's going to be that could be scary. But with the power of an airbrush, we're going to work our way up. Not going to be using contrast for that today, but we'll do it on other stuff. So I'm just going to start off by doing the treads and doing all the black and all that stuff. So
Speaking of contrast, you've touched these paints, right?
I have touched these paints. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to touch them back in.
Yeah.
Across the lake. Yep.
There were a lot of names for England that I was like, I don't know if they're like nice names or mean names, so I'm just not going to say them.
Yep.
In England,
Yep.
we were part of a preview day for the paint. Basically, while we were there for the Horus Heresy, there was a special day where we had like a nice breakfast, and they showed us in, and we got to paint everything, and that was really cool. So I got a chance to try them firsthand. We actually do have a video live on the channel if you guys want to check it out. That it's kind of a more like a deep dive into first impressions of contrast. Is it even worth getting, stuff like that?
Yeah.
But it was cool. Got to try it.
Sweet.
I think they're definitely better than they were for sure. I had concerns.
Did you like them before?
So the way I would normally use them, this YouTube thing, it's literally telling us to play an ad for them.
Yeah.
We should play an ad for them. Anyways, I use them mostly as like nice washes.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean,
so
same.
I love like Skeleton Horde on some nice khaki and like all that stuff. But I rarely use it like as my main line paint. So I was curious, not only can I continue to use it as a wash, but is there something, can I use it as like a mainline paint?
Can I use it in the way that they kind of design them to be used?
Yeah, exactly. I'm always skeptical whenever someone says it in like when you're hobbying, like, oh, this thing is literally magic. Like it's it's like not gonna have the results that you wish that it did or whatever.
Well, I also like, that's my opinion on whenever anyone talks about like movies and stuff. They're like, yeah, it's really great. I'm like, but don't tell me that, because then I'm gonna have higher expectations than you did going into it.
Exactly.
And so.
I think contrast is exactly the same thing, where there were some people being like, oh, it's completely like literal magic, and some people that were like, oh, it's terrible, it's worthless, and I think unfortunately, for better or worse, the truth is as most of the time somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Like it's a cool technical paint at the end of the day, It's not gonna magically solve all your problems, but you can do some cool stuff with it.
Yeah, I like putting them through an airbrush a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot. I think they really shine through an airbrush.
You basically use it to tint. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
So let's see. You got some.
Yeah, I got some.
Things going on.
Some gray-green right here. And this
nice.
guy is just literally like just primed black. How I avoided spraying him with anything that I had going on with the rest of the tank.
That's kind of crazy, actually.
Kudos to myself, but I need some contrast on him really quick. Now, this head is from something else.
It's a blade guard head.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Well, it was mostly, I chose that mostly just because someone gave me like all of their bits and was like, take whatever you want. And it was also when I was looking up Legion of the Damned art, there was one guy that had like a halo of fire.
Right.
And, this head reminded me of that. So, funny thing was that like the other head that this guy had was already glued in, and so I had to like chop it to a billion pieces. It felt illegal.
Yeah.
But also good at the same time.
Right.
So.
This was an illicit kitbash.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it looks so much better than I don't even the regular guy is. It's just like a kind of boring Tech Marine helmet.
Yeah.
And Legion of the Damned has just so much flavor. I think, especially with Space Marines, like at the end of the day, they're all kind of wearing the same armor. So like take those opportunities to embellish. Yeah, spice it up. Oh man, is this top not glued? Oh my god. Sorry. Apparently that's not glued.
Yeah. Well, we have some glue behind you.
Sub-assemblies. Why did he do that? I'm really curious. Bridger, why?
I don't know. Maybe that's always like a gamble when you're like building something for someone else.
Yeah.
You're not entirely sure the steps that they take.
Exactly.
To paint.
Well, it's interesting. So the turret has 3 different guns that you can use for it. And he's been reading all the rules. I haven't really been because it's a lot of work. So he's kind of doing the bulk of it. And basically the way that the turret builds, there's like 2 of the guns you can kind of get away with swapping, but one of them, the Volkite, has like an energy pack in the back. So it's kind of like while you could get away with swapping out just the gun, technically, this back thing would actually have to be different. So it gets a little bit like iffy. But luckily, according to him, he feels like this gun is just overall the best option. So
until the rules change, and then
I know, right? And then you break it apart.
Yay!
I'll sometimes magnetize, but often, honestly, I'll just pop something off. You know, it's a little tougher here because it's like inside the model.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I'm always open to that. So what's up, chat? Let us know what you guys are working on tonight. We'd love to hear.
Now I saw that he also built. I think Zach and I called it the giant unnecessary spoiler.
Yeah.
Are you gonna put that on there?
Which thing?
The rake.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Now, is that like a rules thing? Do you get something for that?
Most likely, yes. So in old 40K, and I assume it's the same in Horus Heresy, if you were going through what's called difficult terrain, so it'd be like any ruins or rubble or whatever, you can move through it with a vehicle, but if you roll a 1, your tracks basically get destroyed and you're just stuck for the rest of the game. So what Dozer Blades in the past have let you do is re-roll that, and hopefully you don't roll a second one.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it used to do. I assume it's gonna be the same thing. So it's kind of essential. Otherwise, there's literally entire swaths of the battlefield that you can't go in. And if you're like me and you're prone to rolling horribly, like it will happen. It's not a question of if, it's when.
Yeah.
So you want to reroll that 1.
Well, isn't that kind of like what 40K is all about?
Yes.
Like you're just trying to maximize your odds.
Exactly. Maximize your odds, minimize any risk you can, which is why a lot of like top lists end up being things that it's just non-determined. Like it just happens. It's like there's no randomness attached to it, right? And that's how they break the game. So. Hey, what's up, Big Bard? Thank you so much for your super chat. Dudes, Jack and I are getting Kratos's. I might airbrush mine for Imperial Fists. Yes, Jack is subassembling for Ultras. Very nice. The Mastodon is my test. Wish me luck. Ooh, best of luck. You're starting with the big giant model as a practice for the smaller model. I like it.
What is a Mastodon?
So Mastodon is a Forge World model, and it's like this big. It's like a giant brick of a Space Marine transport, basically.
Right, because I mean it's Forge World, right? So it's resin.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an actual weapon. Okay.
Yeah. You could literally kill someone with this model. I guess you were wondering about that. So
Yep.
now you know, Kat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a gorgeous model, and it's appropriately named the Mastodon. So that's awesome, McBard. I think it kind of applies for any of these Space Marine vehicles. You know, once you've painted one, you'll start to develop like techniques and realize kind of what works for others.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love painting vehicles and stuff, I do not have a ton of experience painting just like Marines.
Yeah.
And so I want to say maybe this guy is like my 4th Marine ever painted.
Oh, wow.
So
That's an achievement. It really is. You've gotten this far in your hobby
avoiding
life.
them, yeah.
Yeah. That's really funny. All right, so I'm just laying down the silver, which I will then go ahead and clean up with the black, and then mask that. So I'm just again starting with like the broadest, not strokes, but like air strokes.
The biggest to smallest, yeah.
Exactly. I can just be super messy with this. Get it done.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I didn't do these was mostly just because I didn't know, like, what I wanted to do with them. And usually I'll figure that out as, like, things go. I'll figure out what composition I want to do, if I want them to be glowing or some sort of thing.
Oh, interesting.
But, yeah.
I'm a fan of that. I'm not really a planner, I'll be honest. Like, you sometimes have to just kind of feel it out, suss it out, spend some time with the model. And it's not that you're totally going in blindly, but I do the same thing where it's like, you get a sense for the model.
Yeah,
I'd rather just get started, you know?
I'll have an idea, and then if I end up changing that idea later on, then, like, that's totally fine.
Yeah, exactly. Better to get started and have to redo something or fix something than just sit there agonizing.
Yeah.
You know?
Just get started, feel it out,
Yeah.
and then, you know, change it if you have to. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, the Mastodon is 11.5 inches and it moves 10 inches. Yes!
That is hilarious.
So good. I love it.
Are there any other, like, would you take that normally?
Competitively?
Yeah.
No. And Ickbard knows this. Ickbard has his emotional support tank, which is a giant Baneblade that he takes to tournaments. It's not part of his list. It's just, for emotional support, which I think everyone could really use.
I love that.
So this is definitely in his wheelhouse, The Mastodon is like such a cool, iconic model. I've wanted to get it in the past, but you really have to commit. This is like a big, expensive model. But the two armies I would do it for are Death Guard, so very like plaguey and gross and rusted, or just like Ickbard's doing it, Imperial Fists, like that big like swaths of bold yellow. So cool.
Now, do you choose like chapters based off of color, or do you do it based off of like? So I don't know what else would it be.
You could do it based off of rules or lore. You can be like, oh, like the style or the stories of this chapter really appeals to me, or you could do play style really appeals to me. The tough thing about that, kind of like you're mentioning, is that changes. Right?
Yeah.
So fists are my main chapter, and frankly, I got into them because of the color. It's the bold yellow, the black, and I just love that contrast. Because like thematically, they're not really my style. They're like, Zach would say, I'm not gonna troll these guys for Zach. Anyway, Zach would say things about them, and they're very like resolute, and they're about making fortifications. Right?
I see.
And so that's like not really my style, but I love them for the paint scheme, and I've played them and painted them for years. So at this point, it's kind of like I'm committed, you know. So it's one of those weird relationships where like you feel like they're not really giving as much back to you as you're giving to them, you know. So, but I think the smart thing, if you're a competitive player or really interested in doing that kind of stuff, is you make your own chapter. You can play them whatever you want. Yeah. And you can paint them in whatever colors you want. But of course, as a hobbyist, it's fun to have like a goal in mind.
Now, what would be your favorite other than?
Other than fists?
Yeah. Okay, so if fists are your favorite, like color-wise, what is your favorite lore-wise?
Lore-wise? Oh man. Okay. And we're talking loyalist, not chaos ones.
I'm sure. Yep. Totally. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Lore-wise, oof. Other than the fists. Emperor Spears. Let me talk about the Emperor Spears.
Okay.
So they're an Ultramarine successor, but they're kind of like a blue-green kind of color, almost like this, with like white helmets. So they're very aesthetically pleasing.
Oh, like Vallejo Sea Green or whatever.
Yeah, Vallejo Blue Green. They're very close to Vallejo Blue Green. So first of all, there's something there. But they are very flexible because they play the style of like Ultramarines. But they're also very close combat based in lore. They're like very shamanistic. They actually get cut off from the main worlds. And so they're very like Celtic. They're very much like based off of that. If like the Space Wolves are like the Viking sort of side of things, these are more like the Celtic side of things. So that's just like a really cool lore I'm a big fan of. So yeah. Space Wolves.
I guess I'll present the same question to chat. Like color-wise, lore-wise, which one matters most to you?
Yeah. And do you have a favorite, and do they actually line up, right? I think...
yeah, because Legion of the Damned, like, is really cool, but also they're my favorite colors. And so it works out. But they're not like the... Like, other than, like, the fire glowy stuff, they're not the most interesting to paint. It's just, they're black and they're on fire.
Yeah. Look, what's not to love about that? I think they're also super interesting for conversion opportunities, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like a converter's dream. Because you can do, like, anything you want within that theme. And also because there aren't any models, as you've been probably finding out. Like, you convert everything, and that's like, exciting and liberating, you know?
Yeah. No, I would agree. I would agree. I mean, this is like a journey into kitbashing a little bit for me. Thankfully, we had these guys just laying around the shop already, so I didn't have to like spend any money on them.
Right.
Because one, no one has spirit hosts.
No.
Two, the only thing that had spirit hosts in them was the new. What are they called? They're not the start collecting boxes anymore.
The Vanguard boxes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big commitment for a Kitbash. Oh my god. That's really funny.
That was all we had, and thankfully, like these were donated to the store.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love the Spirit Host models. They're so cool.
I like all of the Soul Blight models. I think they're super cool. I like that new one that they just came out with the dude on the ship.
Oh, the boat guy is so cool. Oh my gosh. I still haven't gotten him. I've been trying to resist. I have way too many hobby projects, but like that one is just a painter's dream, you know?
Rules wise, is he good though?
He's like okay. Basically he like each turn you can like pick a unit and be like, hey, you want to get in my boat? And he like takes them across the battlefield, and then so he like teleports
he gives them free candy. And,
yeah. I mean, you've seen the guy. It's definitely stranger danger going on there.
Yeah.
But I like. So it's a good ability, but it's basically a whole unit to transport one other unit. So, yeah, one.
Wow.
Literally
okay.
one. So I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's amazing, you know?
Fair.
So I'll definitely get him, but...
Now, with AoS, like, is moving across the board, like, super fast, that important, or not really?
Yes and no.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that's, like, be in a certain place at a certain time. So, like, from that perspective, it's super useful. The reason it's not as crazy here is because, frankly, the army has a lot of other ways to do that same ability. Like, there's even a spell that does it. And they're just like, yeah, just teleport because we're ghosts.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you didn't have things that could do it otherwise, then it would be super interesting and useful. But you have other ways of accessing it without spending X number of points on a whole extra character, you know?
Yeah, fair.
That's like okay as far as other things. So the values are not quite there. And you also have to come down 9 inches away, and you don't get to move again. So basically it's like, you can try to charge a unit, and rolling a 9 on 2 dice is not super likely.
For you?
Well, especially for me. For me, it's basically out of the question. So, yeah, it's weird.
Now, okay, I don't know anything, right?
No worries. Yeah.
It's great.
Good,
I'm asking a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
What does the black coach do?
Oh, I love the black coach.
I would picture that being like a transport unit.
Yeah.
Versus like the half boat guy.
So the coach doesn't transport Night Haunt models, but it does collect souls. It can collect souls of people that you kill. So, you know.
Is that important? Is there like in-game currency or?
It has like its own currency basically. So it used to be like you would like roll dice and then it would like level up throughout the game. Now the way it levels up is just by having things die near it. I think not non-Night Haunt things. And as it levels up, things die, it levels up, and then it's like supercharged when it's like full, and you can like release the like death energy and like shoot it off, and then it's empty again and it needs to kind of go collect more souls. So that's kind of how they've like decided to show that mechanic. And that coach, and the coach itself also does teleport, and it can do that every single turn by itself.
I see. So that you can really get it in the middle of a bunch of stuff.
It can just be exactly where you need it at exactly the right time. So I'm a big fan of the coach. That's my favorite model from that whole line. And the new rules for it are pretty cool. There's even like one like ability for scoring that's called like last stop for the coach. And it's so cheesy and beautiful. So no, I'm a big fan of that line. I think they're just amazing models.
Yeah, I think they're really cool. When they first came out with the little ghosty dudes.
Oh, the Night Haunt?
I saw a bunch of conversions, and one thing that like I really fell in love with was someone made a bunch of shopping bags for one of them.
Yes.
And that one was super cute.
One.
Yeah.
That was so well done. Oh man. Yeah, because actually before that book, like the Spirit Hosts were basically the only Night Haunt models.
Yeah.
It was like that, the old coach, I guess, and that was it. And so they basically came up with this whole line that's just so dynamic. I love all the motion behind the models. Let's see, thank you, the Chris DV, No hobbing right now. It's 2 a.m.
Oh.
Understandable. But in the midst of painting up Cobbleites, I need to do some detailing, but I'm waiting on paint. And kitbashing my Trueborn and Archon before moving on to the court. That's awesome. So this is all a bunch of Drukari conversions. Chris has been working on this for a little while. And gosh, Drukari are a great kitbash army. You can just do so much with it because they're so like mishmashy. They're almost like pirates. And so you can take from so many different kits. You can take from AoS kits.
What are the Drukari?
So, Drukari are Dark Eldar.
Oh, okay.
I call them Dark Eldar, but the internet, they like changed the name.
Drukari, yep.
Yeah, because you can't copyright Dark Eldar or Dark Elves because that's like.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, they're Drukari now. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Just like there's no more Imperial Guard. They're Astra Militarum.
Yeah.
So, so basically just like evil space elves, which is like what else? There's so much
Are
love
they
there.
the same like sort of thing as the Eldar though? Like, and they're just like corrupted or?
Oh, let me tell you, Kat. Oh man, what a day! Sorry. Yeah, so the Dark Eldar are from the Eldar basically lineage, and essentially like Eldar civilization was at its peak, and they were just going kind of nuts with everything. They were just so. How can I say this on stream? They were just gluttonous.
Okay.
Let's just say, in like every way possible. And basically, they're like a very psychically attuned race. And so this kind of came to this point where it actually created this like chaos god, this like giant demon god that like shattered their worlds. And basically, this god was born and would start like chasing after them and trying to eat their souls. This is Slaanesh. And so
I see.
After that happened, there was a couple schools of thought. There was the Crafter Eldar, the regular Eldar, that were said, okay, well now we're gonna like basically go off and be like monks, and we're gonna wear these spirit stones so that when we die, our souls go into the stones instead, and Slaanesh doesn't eat us. And then there's the other camp, which is the Dark Eldar, that said, well, turns out if you like don't use any psychic powers and you like constantly are around like pain and suffering, that is like a way to like hide from her, essentially. So that obviously created two very different types of societies. And thus we have the Eldar and the Dark Eldar. So.
And they both don't like Slaanesh.
They both don't like Slaanesh. They don't really like each other either. But they also like, it's kind of like elves in any lore where it's like they live a long, long time. There's not that many of them, so they like don't want to kill each other because that's it's a waste of elvish life basically. But they certainly don't approve of each other.
Fair.
Yeah. So.
It's like a high elf and a wood elf sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of animosity of like, you guys are both elves, but they've been through a lot. So the Archon is kind of like their leader, and the court is like a bunch of alien. It's like his entourage, but they're a bunch of aliens basically, and like assassins and cutthroats. So hedonistic, debauchery. There we go. We're getting a lot of stream appropriate words to describe.
Thank you, Thesaurus.
Yeah. Yes, I do have a mug with my name on it, but I didn't make it or order it. It's from No Retreat Legends. Yeah.
So you were gifted it.
I was gifted it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't make a mug with my own name on it.
Would you ever?
If I was like color me mine, no, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't. No, that's a lie. Would you?
No.
Yeah, it's a little weird, right?
No. I'd probably get one that like has a cat on it.
Oh,
but
okay.
I wouldn't like
clever.
have just cat on it.
Just like in case you forget.
Yeah.
Or someone else forgets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. This one they got right. My name tag for the invitation, the box. My name is misspelled.
Nice.
It's like etched in like.
I love
nice
that.
metal.
I love that for you.
So I was like, oh, thanks, guys. It was great. Okay, that was a lot of just covering this black. I literally like primed it black, got the silver, and then re-primed all these areas in black. There we are, tracks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now it's gonna be yellow, right?
But it's gonna be yellow.
Yeah.
Well, because I want to have certain plates of it in the black.
Okay.
So once this is dried, I'll go ahead and do basically what you've done here. And then once that's cured, I don't know if it'll happen today, then I'll mask that off and go ahead and do the yellow on top. So we'll see. We'll see. Did see another chat. Thank you so much, Ricky. Painting Oh God, so many Rupentia. Here's a question, Adrian. Which Primarch would you suggest Cat marry, and how would you pitch it? Okay.
Okay.
Where do we start here, Cat?
Yeah.
Do you know about the Primarchs?
I know of them.
Okay.
I know they're really big space marines.
They're big space marines.
Yeah.
They're like
Zach taught me that.
The Papa Space Marines,
Yeah.
basically. They're like the head honchos, and they're like genetically like the one that everyone's based off of, basically.
Yeah.
And they all have personalities. Now, almost more importantly than this, everyone in the studio has or has had a Primarch that they've dated or been married to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's where this is coming
This isn't
from.
a targeted question.
Okay.
That would be weird.
All right.
But yeah, so basically, like, I was dating Gilliman, now I'm married to Gilliman, and Zach, I think, is with Corsaro Khan now, or maybe Magnus. Do you guys know we're in chat? And so the question is sort of like, what?
Well, which one's available?
Oh, well, that's a good question.
Are all of them now available to me?
To you?
Or do I have to stay away from?
I think like we can make a case for like who you should be with.
Right, and then if they're taken, then
yeah, or you
okay.
could like maybe make a case for why you actually are better for this person than whoever they're currently dating.
Ooh, no, I don't like stealing.
No.
People.
Well, I'm not saying you do it. I'm just saying like we know.
Okay.
We know that they do better.
Okay, they're miserable.
Yeah.
Without me.
Exactly.
Okay.
So let's see. Here's some questions for you. Would your Primarch be organized or unorganized? Look, I'm trying to spare you me telling you all about all 16 of them.
This just feels like we're in grade school and we're doing like a MASH thing.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
ever do that? Yeah.
This is what you guys came for, hopefully.
I think I would prefer organized.
Organized.
Yeah.
Organized. Okay. Would you say like bad boy or nice boy? Which could be different from organized and unorganized. It's a stereotype.
Okay, are they mean to me or are they just mean to everybody else? Do you have some sort of
Either
like,
way, if you however
anime
you
trope
wanna,
going?
Yeah. Like maybe. Ooh, that's a good question. To other people. Let's go with other people. Like maybe they're nice to you. But they're this way towards other people.
Can I say I don't care?
You don't care? Yeah, that's fine. That's an acceptable answer. Okay, so organized, don't care about nice boy, mean boy. Would you rather go on a bike ride or to the movies?
To the movies.
To the movies. Okay. And
It depends on the movie.
oh, okay. What kind of movie?
If it's a scary movie, I'd rather go on a bike ride.
Right. Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Not a scary movie.
It depends on the movie.
Is it like an action movie, like a rom-com?
I'll take an action movie.
Action
I don't
movie?
I don't like watching rom-coms in the theaters. It makes me cringe.
But at home it's fine. Actually, I'm the same way. That's
Yeah,
true.
at
I'm the
home
same
it's
way.
okay because
Yeah,
I can cringe by myself.
Yeah.
But like it feels really awkward when there's a bunch of strangers around
People
you.
have seen that you have actively gone to see this movie. Then.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Other than that, I think I'd do a bike ride. Okay, so if it's an action movie, I'd do a movie. But if it's not, then bike ride.
Then the bike ride.
Yeah.
Like, okay. When you go to dinner with them, is it a hot meal or a cold meal? Is it like cooked barbecue or is it like sushi? What kind of end of things? Sushi?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's up, Michael Cody? We're finding the Primarch for Cat to date. Okay. I feel like this negates a lot of them, so this is good. So it's not Vulcan, who was a nice boy. You don't care about that. Organized, would definitely go to an action movie, but he's all about fire. So you'd for sure have barbecue if it was him, which is good because Brian's with Vulcan. So
that's good.
You're good there.
That's
You're
good.
there.
Okay.
I
feel like I'm like dodging lasers right now.
You are. What do you guys think? Let us know in chat. Let us know if there's any other questions, but I feel like these are the main questions. I'm seeing Korax.
I don't like Korax white though.
That's fair. Well, don't worry. Only Korax's helmet is white. The rest of his armor is black.
Well,
I don't. He has black hair. You like black hair?
Sure.
Long black hair. His hair is like longer than yours.
Long?
Long.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's fabulous though.
It depends. Is it nicer than mine? Because if it is, then I think we're gonna have an issue.
Is it nicer? Look, this is a Primarch. It's probably gonna be nicer.
It's probably the
than
best hair ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. I think we're gonna have an issue.
Gilliman. Oh no, it can't be Gilliman. Is it Gilliman?
Oh no.
Gilliman. Let's see. Gilliman would be organized. He would do the bike ride, but he would also I don't know if Gilliman would take you to an action movie. I don't know. Seth says it's Batman. Ooh, Sanguinius.
Is Batman a Primarch?
Batman's everyone's Primarch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I think so. Sorry, I should. Can we see some hobbying? Yeah, you have to paint. One of us has to paint.
I'm trying.
You're doing great. I don't know. I'm kind of digging Sanguinius, guys.
Is Sanguinius spoken for?
No.
Oh, okay.
So he is Primarch of the Blood Angels.
Okay.
He is very dramatic.
Okay.
I don't know if he's organized. He's pretty organized. Man, you guys are just all over the place. Cat hates vampires. Do you hate vampires? Brett says you hate vampires. This is like a thing he knows about you.
I think the only thing that I have like stated that I hated was stamps or stamp collectors. Stamp collectors. I do wanna like make that like difference.
Yeah.
Stamp collectors. I don't have an issue with stamps themselves.
Just the people that enjoy them.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't get it.
You're like, just to be clear, this is personal.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the thing you do.
Because like some people were like, "Oh, why do you hate stamps?" And I'm like, "Okay, you know, I believe that everyone should have something that they believe in. This is my hill.
Okay.
I will die on it."
Yeah.
But it's not stamps themselves. It's the collecting of it.
It's just a weird thing.
Yeah.
Is it because they don't do anything with it? Do you think?
No, I just don't understand collecting like scraps of paper.
Yeah, that's fair. Look, you probably just made a lot of Magic players mad right now.
But I am a Magic player.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So why do you feel differently about that then?
Because I can play with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
It's like I don't really get models for the most part that I don't intend to play with. Like it'll be like a special thing, because I don't like just collecting things to collect things. Not that I have a problem with that. Cat has a problem with that, but
I will fight people.
Yeah, you'll fight people.
So is it Sanguinius?
I think it's Sanguinius, honestly.
Okay, cool.
I think.
I mean, I like red.
Yeah. Red, it's a good color. He
Yeah.
would definitely take you to sushi. He would definitely go for either of those dates. He's organized. He's very emotional. I will warn you about that. But look, he's a great guy.
I don't know.
Bye, Zach. Have fun.
Bye.
So there it is, Sanguinius, and
All
also
right.
not spoken for. So
Sweet.
Shocking.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Take it.
That was an amazing. Who asked that? I've already forgotten. Already, that was like half an hour ago. Do. Thank you so much for your super chat. We appreciate it. Ricky, thank you so much. Very much appreciate the super chats. Great way to support the channel, and thank you.
And to get us to answer really weird questions.
Yeah, I love it. This is what we're here for. If you think you're here for painting, you're in the wrong place.
Exactly.
So I've done the black layers, and let's see. I'm gonna add some of the gray. I should pull up a photo for reference. It's funny, on the box art, they actually did like kind of the panels, but then they also have this weird like diagonal, diagonal stripe, which felt weird to me because it
doesn't match the model.
It doesn't. There's like clearly delineated sections, which I'm not like a always paint by the numbers kind of person, but I feel like it's here, so why not? So.
Well, as long as it complements the structure, I think you're okay. I'm trying to learn how to panel line.
Exactly.
And like scribe my own panel lines. So
that's a tough thing.
I was reading a whole book on it.
And oh, really?
Yeah, and like why you want to do it in certain ways, and you know whatever. Because I think the next competition piece I built is going to be a Gundam.
A tank? Oh, a Gundam.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, panel lines are super important there too.
Yeah, and scribing them, especially.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know what style you want to paint it in? Like, is it going to be more photorealistic? I've also seen ones that are very, like, they're almost painted in the anime style. Have you seen some of those? It's great. Like, it looks like it's like a Photoshop.
Yeah. No, I've seen those too. Those are really cool. I want to practice candying, which is like colored metallics that look not glittery, like almost like car paint kind of thing. And they're just super glossy, super shiny.
That's cool.
But you have to have a perfect base structure for it. So that I think is a big push.
Right.
Who knows if I'll get there. It's also a thing where I might have to buy like a special airbrush for it.
Jeez.
And a fruit dehydrator or like a vegetable dehydrator or something, because you really have to protect it while it is drying.
Oh, interesting.
Because if any piece of lint or anything like that falls on it,
I see. Yeah, you need to like seal it before any like even dust particles can land on it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
that's crazy.
I like challenging myself, but we'll see.
No, I think that's great.
No promises on that, but
Sure.
I do like keeping to almost kind of sort of similar to how I painted this, because I think the comic book styles and the sort of like 2D but 3D stuff is really cool. I just don't personally see myself doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I've never tried it myself. I like to. It's cool to see, like you said. I haven't ever given it a go. I also don't know how paint judges would take to it.
Right. It's very stylistic.
It's very stylistic.
But I mean, I don't paint for that.
You don't paint for the judges?
No.
That's good.
Yeah. I paint to challenge myself to do something that I haven't done before, and see, how it goes. And the only reason why I want to submit it into a competition is so that I can get feedback for it. That I wouldn't normally get that sort of level of feedback if it wasn't for a competition.
Right, exactly. I mean, I've been super impressed by just the amount of feedback and useful feedback that both Zach and Meg got when they did the Kubla stuff. It was just like all these revelations that they had, and it was just it made me think, honestly, because I've never really considered like entering a painting competition for that purpose.
Yeah.
It feels like there was a lot of really insightful information there.
Yeah, if you're looking to up your game, do a paint competition. Like anyone who enters paint competitions to win, you're doing it wrong. Right?
Yeah, that's totally fair.
It's different than a tournament, right? You enter a tournament to win.
Right.
But a paint competition is it'd be nice if you get something, but you shouldn't expect it or you're going to be disappointed 99.9% of the time.
I totally agree. Especially, we talked about best paint at a tournament. It's like that is just a recipe for frustration.
Yeah. It's cool to
for so
aim
many
for.
reasons. Yeah, exactly.
But I wouldn't expect it.
Yeah. I think that's a healthy attitude, honestly. All right, let's see. I'm gonna pull up
some reference pictures.
Yeah, I do, because I'm not even. I'm struggling with this. Let's see. Kratos. Imperial Fist.
I've seen some really cool world eaters.
Oh yeah. Aren't you thinking about painting something like that?
Is it very similar? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice color scheme.
I agree.
The OG, right?
Yeah.
Like white and blues.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
White and dark blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it looks gorgeous. Let's see. Yeah, it's so interesting. So eventually we'll load the whole thing, but basically, it's like this, and I'll show you guys chat, not the blurry photo here, but
oh, I see.
It's basically this panel and this panel
are black,
and then what they do is they also do a little diagonal here and a little diagonal here. So I think I might not do the diagonal, but do the other two. Obviously, you could say this whole under panel is black, but I don't know if that might be too much. And then it's just too segmented. I don't know, what do you think?
I like that they brought the yellow into the two different panels. But
like here and here next to each other as yellow.
Yeah, I liked that because it made it not so like, oh, these are two separate pieces and we painted them separately, you know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think the picture that you pulled up was kind of unimaginative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm gonna eschew the diagonals. Cool. So that's helpful. We do have some super chats.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. What's this? Scrolling. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you so much. Orczak, good wah, Titans. Long time no chat. Hey, welcome back. Was able to snag 2 AOD boxes. Should I, Age of Darkness, that's the Horus Heresy starter box. I was trying to figure out what AOD was.
Gotcha.
That was a new one for me. Should I go all on World Eaters?
Wow, yes.
Wow.
Wow, yes.
Questions. Or should I do a Loyalist Legion with the second box? Ooh.
Dang.
What do you think? Split it or all in? It's so the box for context comes with 40 Marines.
Yeah.
On foot, 10 Terminators, so like bulky Marines, 1 Land Raider, 1 Dreadnought, and 2 characters. So like 80 Marines is a lot. On the other hand, like the box by itself isn't really a full army.
Right.
So, oof. That's a tough question.
You see, I'm always for like variety in life, right?
Yeah.
So would 2 boxes be a full army?
Together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But it would also be...
And that's without, like, the Kratos, without the Rhino,
Correct.
without anything extra.
Which is maybe an argument to not double
do
down.
It. Yeah.
Because it'll be probably a bit boring, right? It's like, well, I have 8 of the same unit. And,
yeah. I think you should do 2 different ones. Yeah.
I think I agree as well.
I think I would go insane painting the same color scheme on that many models.
No, thank you.
Which eventually I think you'll have to do just to get full armies out of it.
Totally.
But don't kill yourself right now.
Yeah, keep it fun, keep it interesting. And I don't know what your situation for Horus Heresy is, Orczak, but if you don't necessarily have like someone that's going into this with you or someone you know you're playing with, it could be useful to have 2 different armies, and you can kind of hook someone with that and be like, hey, I have all the models. They're really nicely painted. Like, you want to try this out? And you're just like ready to go.
Yeah.
So I've been becoming more and more of a fan of more small armies rather than big collections. You know, like do enough for a list. And then maybe you want to add more, but maybe you want to move on to something else. And it kind of keeps it from becoming a chore, like you were mentioning.
Yeah,
right?
it keeps it from being stale.
Exactly.
So that's our opinion. Do what you want with it.
Orczak.
But if you don't follow it completely, we judge you.
Yeah. Look, there's no wrong answer except for the one where you don't listen to us. Then that's definitely wrong. And like Orczak, stick around. We're gonna see you later today in the community corner. Oh, Willow really wants to know what Gundam. Have you picked one out, or just generally? It's very, very adamant about this.
It's the Sazabi.
Oh, okay. My turn to ask a question. What the heck is that? What? Isn't that like an auction company?
Yeah. So the Sazabi is Char's. I want to say his main suit. After he like kind of proves himself, that's what it becomes. It's like an upgraded Zaku essentially.
Gotcha.
And the Zaku being like what would be like a Space Marine, Sazabi would be like the character kind of thing.
Still very classic.
Yeah. So it ties. It's got a lot of like Zaku characteristics to it, but it's got extra flair.
Okay.
So
what made you pick that one in particular?
It's my favorite one. It's also red.
Always good.
But all of Char's suits are red, except for the very like first one that he is in, mostly just because he's just a grunt.
Right.
But I like it. I like that it's because I don't like the normal Zakus. I think they're a little goofy.
Controversy.
Which is funny because like there is the goof, which is like a the spin-off of Ozaku.
Wait, it's called a goof?
It's called the Goof.
What? What?
It's like GOUF or whatever, but it's the blue one.
You got that goof?
Yeah. I don't know. I like it because one thing that like prevents me from really getting into a lot of Gundam suits is how like old they look.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the Sazabi is like the nice upgraded.
More modern.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, actually. A lot of stuff. Let's see. Perfect. Getting some close-ups. How's that guy going?
He's going. I got some variations on his shoulder pads and stuff. It might be a little bit hard to see, but I am going with like a more brownish, brown black sort of tan look on him. I will probably do something very similar to what I did with the tank, is paint him like brighter than what he will actually be, and then go through and wash him down with like maybe one of these new contrasts.
Oh, put him to the test.
So we'll see.
That's an art form, is like shooting higher with the value, knowing that you're gonna wash it down.
Yeah.
You know, that's been something I've been working on lately.
Because if anyone watched the stream last week, this was looking like super white.
Right.
And then I went through with, I think, Drakenhof Nightshade.
Oh, yeah.
And sprayed it down. So
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
That was our Tyranids, which was originally done with a commission painter. I like followed the video that they used to paint it, and it was like all with washes. You know, it was basically the base color was an acrylic, and then everything else was washes. So it's been something I wanted to try. And actually, this guy here, which is the torso of Bone Rippa, is kind of like the same thing. Like this was like bone white, and then washing the whole thing down with like the purples and the reds are all just washes, and then the whole thing with I think it was just a Nuln oil, honestly, bringing it all the way down, and then bringing it back up. So it's been a technique I've been very interested in lately.
Yeah, but you get a lot of interest with it. Yeah.
It's more subtle, right? It's like playing with way thinner layers than you could with regular paint.
It's glazing, is what it is.
It's glazing. Yeah, that's what the professionals call it. It's like thin layers or something.
Yeah, a bunch of thin, translucent layers. It's glazing.
I think I'm onto something, Kat. All right.
That's a really cool technique you discovered.
No, I didn't discover it. I'm discovering it for myself. This is a journey of self-discovery.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
Health and wellness is Hobby Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Bloop. Thank you, Mark. Building Blood Angels of Corn. Pics in Discord. We'll definitely check them out. Mark, you don't know who you're messing with. I'm the worst person at finding stuff on Discord. I don't know why. I just can't. And my phone is being dumb, so we'll see.
I've been having a thing where, because we also have a Discord for the Las Vegas Open painting stuff, is I will get a notification on my phone saying that like someone's like tagged me in something and or posted in a certain thing, and I go to look at it and there's nothing there. And I'm like, okay, I can't help you. I don't know if it's been deleted or like what happened, but yeah, it's really weird. I
have the same thing on the Titans Discord. It'll be like, oh, someone like added you, and I'll like click on the thing and I'll be like, take me to the spot, and it like jumps, but then like it scrolls.
It doesn't go to where you've been mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm like scrolling through trying to find that one highlighted post that's like, it's not even like super bright. It's like a brownish color.
Slightly lighter than the rest of the thing.
Yeah, and then I'm just like, all right, well, I can't find it. I'm really sorry.
Exactly. I'm just like, well, good luck. So, Discord.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like if it's a post been deleted or something. Is really weird though.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's see, Mark. I'm gonna look at hobby progress. I see there's new posts. Boop boop boop.
So, but I guess this is us also saying if you mention us in something and we don't respond.
Yeah.
We tried.
We probably did try. Mark, what's your Discord username? If you want to disclose that, that would be helpful. All right, yeah. Let us know. Yeah, it looks like Caldor's stream died, not ours. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Attempts are always made, at least.
It's in hobby progress. There's an option on the top right where you can check mentions for Discord. No, that's the thing that I tried to use, and I swear half the time, especially if it's old enough,
Yeah, there's nothing there.
it doesn't work properly. Speaking of which, I'm just catching up on the chat. Deet, 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 deet. Uh-huh. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. He did say that they were the Corn Blood Angels. Oh, here we go. One picture has loaded. See, I told you. This was an exercise in futility. All right, look, I'm going to put my phone here. Eventually it will load, and then we'll take a look. How about that?
Sweet.
Cool. So we'll get back to you, Mark. Yeah, it's the most recent. Yeah. Go. We'll give it a minute. All right. Thank you, as always, Rudy. What's up, Rudy?
Oh, Rudy.
Hi, HT. Cleaning my apartment while watching the stream. Excluding next week's video stream and Megan Smog, what Hobby Titan project are you planning, excited about, or would like to work on to present on future video streams? Oh, Rudy. He always has the best questions.
Yeah.
Not the best questions. Good questions. Yeah, what are you thinking about?
Well, there's one thing that I don't want to like super spoil.
Yeah.
So
I had this sound. I was like, well.
we do have a lot of stuff that's like in the works, where some of which we can say, some of which we can't. One of which I've mentioned that I'm excited, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm being really good at answering this question.
That's fair.
The Thunderhawk, I think.
Oh, yeah?
Right, that's what it's called, the little tiny plane.
Oh, with an Aeronautica one?
No, it's like the little like squat Space Marine plane. I think it's a Thunderhawk. It was like one of my favorite.
Oh, was it in your list for last week? The potato one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's maybe it is Thunderhawk. Anyways, Storm
Talon.
Storm Talon. That's
There
what
you
it is. Storm Eagle Bird. Yes.
Zach and I were literally joking about it. It's like weather bird thing.
Weather bird. Yeah. Adjective noun.
Yeah.
I love
Storm
that
Talon.
model. It's a really cool, flavorful little plane.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And I saw it built, unprimed, just in the window of the Games Workshop over
cool.
in Kent, Washington.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it.
That's cool.
And I am going to like do a lot to it. Yeah. I am pulling inspiration from Seth when he was working on his Thunderbolt.
Yeah, I made me think of that.
So we'll see what I do with
awesome.
it. But yeah, I think that's the one thing that I can spoil.
Right. It's cool when you get inspired by purely the model. You know, I think a lot of the time a new model comes out, and sometimes I won't like the model, or people won't like the model, and then you see them unpainted, and you're like, this is amazing. And it's just something about the job or the style that it was rendered in.
Yeah.
So it's cool, like you literally saw it without any paint, and so just structurally, the model itself was inspiring.
Yeah, because it's not a new model. I've definitely seen that kit like in the stores. I don't think I've ever seen it built, but there was just something about seeing it without any paint on it. It's not even primed. It was just, here it is. And I immediately got super inspired to do a bunch of different things to it.
Right.
So yeah. That was a sale. So I bought it immediately. I had already bought a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, oh cool, well I'm gonna purchase this as well too.
When you see it though. You're just like, well,
yeah.
Now I have to get this. This is what I'm doing now. Things I'm looking forward to. Well, I kind of ruined that for myself because I brought like 3 things today. I literally couldn't decide. I've been painting my Skaven and enjoying working on them.
Nice.
So I will probably bring them on again at some point. And the Kratos and the 5th stuff is something that I've been kind of haven't gotten started on yet. So it was nice to do that. But frankly, I've also been working on, also for the Skaven, a lot of kit bashes. I love converting, and a lot of the Skaven models are so ancient. Like the warp fire throwers. When I was in Warhammer World, they actually had the sprues, or the blisters, because they're metal blisters.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was thinking about getting them. And then I ended up getting Thankful instead. But it's like $20 for this old metal model that's like not the nicest sculpt, you know? So.
And kitbashing a metal model is not it.
No,
yeah, I would just rather not.
I was like, I'm just gonna do it from scratch, frankly.
Yeah.
So the Echoes of Doom box came with 10 Storm Vermin, which are like, they're like heavy infantry guys. I'm not really gonna use them in my lists, but I can use the models or the bodies as like the basis of a like from scratch conversion.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be doing that, and I'm thinking about either doing a video or doing a stream. Because I haven't really done like a non-painting stream in a while. So I'm thinking about bringing one of those on. Most likely I'll end up just doing it anyways because I'm too impatient. But those are things I'm thinking about.
Oh, and I also just got all of the 3D printed terrain that I had my friend 3D print. And it was a thing where like, he kept trying to be like, oh, are you going to be at this store, you know, whatever. And I'm like, nope.
The dance.
And so finally, he was just like, I'm just going to drop it off, pick it up
really
whenever you want. And so I got to see them yesterday, and they were super cool. They were really cool. There's a bit of like filling and stuff that I need to do on it. And I am very sensitive to resin powder, so...
Oh God.
That's going to be a whole thing. Yeah.
Is it like a breathing it in or like a skin thing?
It's a skin thing.
Ugh, that's even harder.
Yeah, I get...
Otherwise you know, just wear the appropriate mask.
Yeah, I get hives pretty
God.
badly. It was a thing
Jeez.
where for like a couple LVOs in a row, I had like, I was just constantly wearing long sleeves because the trophies that we had were resin, and like we had to do a bunch of work on it, and it was not fun.
Jeez.
So yeah,
that's horrible.
But thankfully that's not the case anymore, so we're good now. Yeah,
Well, that's good. You like
we have refined our process.
Oh, okay.
And also I've been banned on...
Are you cured? Like...
I've been banned on working on them as well.
Fair enough. There you go. Oh, that's horrible.
It was always like an emergency situation, though.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That's a nightmare. I do a lot of 3D printing, and the uncured resin, you can develop a sensitivity to it. And I've heard it can get really bad. It's like you can't even be in the same like room as it if there's like something open.
Is it like a breathing thing, or like if it's on your skin?
You're not supposed to touch it.
I see.
But then I guess that can get so sensitive that even if you're like near it.
Oh, it's like radioactive
I
almost.
I don't know how much of it is like people being paranoid, but I have heard a lot of like horror stories.
I believe it.
Because it's like, basically if you work with this material too much, which one would assume it's because you love working with it, like you'll develop this sensitivity and not be able to work with it anymore.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so you need to be, you know, you wear gloves and you wear like a mask and stuff like that when you work with it. Because if you don't, it's like a cautionary tale, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Almost just knocked that pot. Speaking of pots, do you think it's time for our top 5?
Yeah.
Speaking of pot, here we go.
We are in California.
Yeah, there you go. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
So today for our top 5, we decided to keep on the theme of the stream, one of the many themes of today's stream, and we're going to do top 5 new paints that we are either looking forward to or have tried before. So you haven't tried any of these yet?
No, but I got super excited when they announced them.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think, you know, we're curious, like, with this new line of paints, what are the paints that interest you, what draws you in, and maybe, you know, talk about why each of them is there. So first off, Mortarian's Grime. Yeah,
so this one was very similar to Agrax, but it's a bit on the more like beigey side, I think. And that's exciting to me, mostly just because like the weathering that I can do with it. That was the most exciting thing. But I also have heard that the new formulation of the shade paints make them less thick, almost like they don't tint like flat surfaces.
Right.
They really like want to get in those crevices and
Yeah,
stuff.
they pool differently. Yeah.
So I think that's exciting to me.
I think it's, the ones like this, I'm glad you picked one of these because it is such like a fundamental. Like it's not like a glamorous, crazy paint.
No.
It's just a good, solid workhorse.
Yeah.
And yeah, truly
Have
for
you tried
weathering.
this? Have you tried this?
I have, actually, and I really like it a lot. There's a couple weathering-ish ones that they're like that. They're like Agrax adjacent, and they're just good for weathering.
Yeah. How would you compare it to Agrax?
I would say it's a little bit like, it's a little bit more khaki, almost like green in some ways. Hence, Mortarion is like green, so I assume that's why they picked it. So it is a bit grungier, actually. I don't know about the pooling nature of this one specifically, but I have noticed that they do, largely I'd say they have better coverage, but in some cases, as you said, it's kind of just different. You know what I mean? Like they are better for crevices and things like that, which is what makes them good at doing this kind of weathering. If you have a very like textured material.
Right. Yeah. I wanted to pick something that like, because a bunch of them were like really exciting, fun, cool colors, but I wanted to pick something that I knew I would probably go through several bottles of.
Exactly.
And that is this one.
You're going to go through this day in, day out.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great choice. Number 2, well, in no particular order, by the way, Dreadful Visage.
Yeah, I think this one was like the grayish blue one.
Yeah, where is it? Here it is. Yeah, gray blue, gray purple. It's a weird paint, and I haven't tried this one.
Yeah.
Like you look at the bottle and you're just like, what? Like,
yeah.
How does that even come out?
It looks not great. It looks not great, honestly, but it's like a purpley gray.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Like I haven't seen a paint line come out with a color like this before, and so that is what drew me to it in the first place.
It's very like ghostly.
Yeah.
Or like vampiric fleshy.
Yeah.
I know you don't like vampires, but.
Yeah, they remind me of stamp collectors.
Yeah. Ugh, similar breed of people there. So yeah, I'm very curious about this one. I'll have to try it on something. Luxian Purple. This is super rich.
So there's a couple new purples. I picked the most like purpley purple one.
Yeah.
And
this is like Titan's Purple.
Oh, cool.
That's why you picked it.
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Sure. Knowing how pigments work, purple is one of the hardest to make and to put in stuff and actually have it come out the way that you want it to.
Yeah.
So the fact that they came out with more than just one purple,
right.
I want to give kudos to. And so this one was like the richest purple. It's almost like a royal blue in a way, but it is more purple. Yeah.
It is.
So that one was super exciting.
Very interesting. I didn't know about that about purple. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's why a lot of like fantasy ranges don't delve super hard into magentas and purples.
What?
Yeah, because the pigment that you make or that you use to make it is one, really expensive, but two, very transparent as well too. So you have to use a lot of it in order to make that. So yeah, it's the same thing with makeup as well too. Why purple eyeshadow like doesn't usually come out the way that you think it will when you like swatch it.
That's interesting.
It's very chalky and powdery. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually almost seen like, very rarely have I seen purple eyeshadow, purple makeup.
Yeah. So whenever like there's purple in an eyeshadow palette or whatever, right? Unless it's like a known luxury brand, chances are it's not super great. Yeah.
Also, if you're wearing purple eyeshadow, it's like a sign of power and affluence.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it had anything to do with like the Romans and like why.
Oh yeah.
Why only royalty could wear purple? Like maybe.
Look, everything, all roads lead to Rome.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I just know that it's not a easy pigment to work with,
right? And
it's not easy to make it look good. So hopefully this one looks good.
Yeah, totally. Luxian Purple. Next up we have Briar Queen and Chill.
Yeah.
Interesting title. Pretty weird choice, James, but okay.
Briar Queen Chill.
Yeah, Briar Queen Chill.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I had to pick one of the bright ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this one, I think, with the swatches and stuff that I saw pictures of,
Mm-hmm.
this one was the most exciting to me.
Yeah.
I mean, as simple as that. I have reasons for all the rest of them. This one was just, that one looks cool.
It's just cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely want this on a pretty bright undercoat, I think, yeah.
With their new Corax white spray?
Ayo, which we do have. I didn't spray anything, but they sent us like 6 cans. I was like, what?
Oh, they can go with all the rest of our primer that we have.
I know. Zach like immediately hid them. He's like made like a Zach joke and then put them away. I was like, no. Anyways, here we have number 5, Night Haunt and Gloom.
Yeah, so this one reminded me of the technical paint.
Yes.
Night
Something
Haunt
similar.
Glow or something.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're gonna. I think this is literally that, right? Because I think they're gonna get rid of the technical paint, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, I actually know the story on that. Night Haunt, the Night Haunt Technicals, Hexwraith, and the one that was this one, were the predecessors to Contrast. Like the formula was sort of like half figured out.
Yeah.
So they released them separately, and now they're like part of this launch is they've like fully like finished them basically using like the actual formula they use for all their contrast.
They're the Primarchs.
They're the Primarchs.
Wow.
Hey, your Primarch is Night Haunt Gloom.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
So yeah, because I liked that color. I just didn't really have a use for the technical.
It's very specific, right?
Yeah, and how kind of heavy it settled. So I'm glad that they came out.
This
with
was like
a contrast.
one of the examples of people calling it magic, including GW, and it's like it's not magic, but it is useful, you know. But it's such a heavy tool.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to try it now that it's fully in the contrast formula. I think it'll be a little bit more subtle to use.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think that's my hope.
Totally.
In me choosing this.
We'll have to give it a go.
Yeah. Those are the ones that I was like really eyeballing when all those like swatches and stuff like that came out.
Absolutely.
So yeah. And I know a bunch of people who got them early, like we did some like side by side pictures, especially with the shades. That was super helpful.
Right. Because that's the thing is the shades, all the classic shades are reworked, like Nuln Oil, Agrax, they've all been updated. It's not just like a branding facelift thing.
Yeah, and a rebottling.
Yeah. And we're not just saying nice things because like they sent us the paints, by the way, just in case anyone's wondering. I have gripes, but genuinely there's a lot to be excited about this new stuff.
Yeah. So as someone who hasn't touched them, those are the ones that I was most eager to get my hands on.
Yeah, because it's cool because it's like you've like seen them and been curious, but then also like you are very knowledgeable about painting. So it's always cool to see what you find compelling and what you look for in a new paint line. So I think that's super helpful.
A good fantasy range will have good purples.
I have a lot more respect for purples now.
Yeah, purples and reds. Purples, reds, magentas.
Yeah.
They're pretty hard to work with. I know that. Gosh, I'm like blanking on a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I know that green is really like easy, but it's also like there's a bunch of military paint lines around there as well
so
too.
many.
So the for me, the badge of a good fantasy paint line is if they delve into more purples and more reds. Yeah.
Checks out. Oh, that was not the water cup. That was
It had liquid in it.
That was the poop paint cup. That's gross.
So what about you?
Let's take a look. So I haven't had a chance to try these. So I have a few kind of new favorites, and then I have a couple that, frankly, I've picked because they are staples. I think that's important, you know? So let's take a look. Starting off, again, in no particular order, Magmadroth Flame, otherwise known as orange. It's a bit of a red orange, but it's a really strong color. And I'm glad that I don't think they had any orange really before, not with contrast. And even the washes they had, they still have like a new version of, I think, Cassandora's Yellow. Yeah, Cassandora Yellow, which is a very thin orange shade. This is a full-on contrast. And it's just big, it's bold, it's bright and vibrant. And so the thing I was impressed about with the contrast, as I mentioned, as I've only really used them as washes, the coverage is better. You know, I think even if you're working with these using a brush, like it's a lot easier to get coverage and have less pooling problems.
Nice.
That was my biggest issue with them before, you know. Like you walk into the GW store and it's like, hey, you want to try this new contrast paint with a Space Marine? I'm like, the Space Marine is the hardest model to do with this because of the way it pools. But this actually takes a lot better. So big fan of this color. I love orange, so I'm always looking for a good orange, you know,
Yeah.
and an easy orange. So.
Which is not the easiest paint to paint.
Yeah, apparently. So badge of honor there. Next up, I have Garagak Sewer. Very similar to Mortarian's Grime. This one is much, again, I'll just use grungier. It's grungier. This is like a real weathering paint to me. It is a shade. Oh, no, it's not a shade. It's a contrast.
Yeah.
Which explains why it's thicker, grosser.
It's more pigmented.
It's more, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. So this is one of those paints that I see myself coming back to time and time again in the future for weathering purposes, for making gross things, for getting grime on armor. You know, with a name like Garagak Sewer, kind of says it all. It's kind of a brownish, greenish color. I know from that picture it's hard. It's funny, we went to the GW site to pull pictures, and they're just like color swatches.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyways, we took actual pictures of the bottles. Yeah, Will is excited for that too. It's cool. Garagak Sewer. Yeah, it's the poop paint. Next up, Kroxagor Scales. Now, you all know I like a good blue-green. This one is certainly more blue than it is green, but it's a nice, really deep turquoise.
Yeah, because there's another turquoise in this, right? What is that one?
This one?
Oh, that's like an emerald.
Oh, emerald. Eldari.
That is
I was
exactly
thinking it
emerald.
Looked, yeah. This is Eldari Emerald, which is really nice. The Kroxagor Blue, where is it? So I will say this one does have some pooling issues. And again, that is more in depth on the actual video about this. But it's just a really nice color.
Yeah,
but be
I
careful with
separated
how
all
it
the
blues.
shades over here.
Oh, smart. Those are the shades. Contrast over here. I had them all out to take a picture of. Yeah.
We had it at some point. It does exist.
You did.
I promise.
I took all the duplicates out. Anyways, so it's cool. It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. But I would just be careful. It's a little bit thick, but I just absolutely adore this color. And I want to try it through an airbrush because they didn't provide us with airbrushes on the day, obviously. Not obvious, but yeah. So yeah, Kroxagor Scales.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if someone else built a bunch of Space Marines and we primed them.
I know. So we're trying to do this thing where we get more of a chance to work with just whatever we're really, really painting at the moment on the stream rather than like bringing a new project. And that's cool, but this was one of those times I had to fight that instinct to be like, it'd be cool if I just like prepped a whole bunch of models and we just try everything. But I'm like, then we're like truly like totally off the tracks.
Yeah.
That's a little train humor for you, chat. They were obsessed with trains yesterday.
Yeah, what is your top 5 trains?
Top 5 trains?
I know someone asked that.
Definitely Thomas is one of them. Definitely Dinosaur Train from PBS Kids. It's a train with dinosaurs that travels through time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Now
lost
you know,
me.
Kat.
Yeah. Thank you.
Orient Express, definitely one of them. Classic murder train. Let's see. Oh man. Do you have any top 5 trains?
I think you've literally named every single one that I know. I know that there's a train in the Demon Slayer movie. That's a train.
Yeah, that's a train for
a
sure.
train.
Ooh, the train from Wild Wild West. That's a pretty cool train.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Someone mentioned the Snowpiercer train. I actually haven't seen that.
Yeah, I don't know if I would like that train.
Snowpiercer.
I don't know if I would want to go on that train.
No, that's true. Yeah, to be clear, this isn't top 5 trains to ride on.
Oh, okay.
This is just like, I don't know, whatever metric you want.
It's a cool train, yeah.
Cool train.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to think about that. Anyways, this is Imperial Fist.
Yeah.
Look, it's good for painting Imperial Fists. It's a yellow.
No, okay, so you picked the more orangey yellow versus like the
I did.
super bright yellow.
I'm a big fan of orangey yellows.
Yeah.
So like I even have my Vallejo one, which is gold yellow.
And it literally matches.
It literally matches. Wow, it's exactly the same. And same idea. Yellow is notorious. I think if you have an airbrush and you know how to paint yellow, it's not so bad. But people get scared about yellow.
Yeah.
And this actually applied super well. I literally, at the day, and I think I have it somewhere around here, I grabbed a Marine. They primed them all in Corax White, and I just slathered it in yellow, and it came out like near perfect.
Nice.
So I was super impressed with this one.
That's
Hogwarts
good.
Express, oh my God.
Wow, how could we forget?
Thank you, Brett.
Wow, thank you.
Oh my God, that's embarrassing.
Well, see, this is like, I feel like the third or fourth time Brett has brought up something Harry Potter related, and
Ooh,
as
that's true.
someone who claims to have never taken the house test before. I feel
Oh
like,
my gosh, that is so true. Brett, what house are you? I know you've taken him at this point. Polar Express, he's just killing it.
Yeah,
Polar Express is a great train. Although book Polar Express, much preferred.
yeah. Well, there is a train in the Golden Compass.
Golden Compass? You know, I actually never saw that.
Yeah, read it.
Read it?
Read it.
That's
It's
fair,
not,
that's
it's not a
fair.
good movie.
Yeah, I heard
Although
that.
I know that I think they came out with a show at this point, or they're going to come out with a
I think
show.
they're working on it. It's like an Amazon show, right?
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
oh, let's do Lord of the Rings and Golden Compass.
Yeah.
And just kind of like throw like a scattershot of fantasy things. Be like, Game of Thrones, go.
Yeah. Oh,
Alright,
because
I'll
they're
check out
also
the
doing
book.
the Wheel of Time show as well too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Have you read those books?
I've tried.
They're so
I've
dense.
I've tried a couple times and I've stopped both times at the same book, which is the fourth one.
The fourth one.
which is not great.
That's impressive they got that far. My brother and my dad have both read like all of them, and I tried to watch the show with them, and it was just, I don't know if the show was good or bad. It was just painful because of them. They're like, well, in this scene, they actually do this. And they have red hair, not
well, in the
blonde
book, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like trying to watch Harry Potter with someone who is obsessed with it. Yeah.
It's exhausting. Brett says he's Hufflepuff. Yeah.
I can see that.
That is
yeah.
totally accurate.
That's fair.
See, now you know something about yourself, Brett. All right, I think it's my last one. Black Legion. I picked it. It's very boring, but it's very great. I use Black Templar a lot as a cheat. And I know, like, that's like one of my pet peeves is people who call hobby like tricks cheats. But it's great. I'll use it whenever I just need to get good coverage with black. And I'll honestly do it as a base coat, or I'll mix it with a little of just regular acrylic black, and it just flows so much easier and faster. And it's just it's surprising good amount of coverage. I was really impressed with the previous version. It's the only contrast paint that I would actually just paint on, and I'm just as impressed with the new version. So there you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
black.
I like mixing them with just regular acrylic paints as well
exactly.
too.
Get that good flow.
Yeah.
Connor actually literally just asked, is Black Legion better than Black Templar? As far as I can tell, yeah. Basically, they got rid of Black Templar and they just renamed this one. It's weird because well, that's not true. I don't know if any of the old contrast names are the same.
Now, are they getting rid of the previous contrast paints and these are what are replacing them?
I think
because
so.
if that's the case, because that's not what I heard.
Yeah?
I heard that these are just additions.
And on top? So now there's
Yeah.
Black Templar and Black Legion? Well,
But I don't know.
as far as like restocking, you would know better than I.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that the shades are definitely replacing the old shades.
That's for sure, yeah. Because same name.
They are getting rid of the, I don't know if all of the dry paints are going away or if vast majority of them are going away.
Get them out of here.
And then I know that they are reducing their airbrush line as well
makes me
too.
sad.
So yeah, and then they're going to repot everything, but
Into these probably.
yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's all I know.
Interesting.
But I don't know if they are going to get rid of their old contrast paints because that would not make any sense because Snakebite Leather is literally the most popular contrast paint.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I do love me some Skeleton Horde. You know what, you're right. There's no way they're getting rid of them, which begs the question, what's the difference between Black Templar and Black Legion? We have them both. In the bottle, they look the same.
I guess this means that we got to get someone else
try it
to
out.
build up a bunch of space.
Yeah, naturally. I might find a Skaven or two that I can put some parts on it. So for you, Connor, we were just talking about this before the stream. So
Yeah.
there you go, top 5 of the new paints. You know, it was interesting when we were at the paint demo day, the preview day. We had like the guy there, the head of
contrast dude,
guy,
yep.
yeah. And it was interesting talking to him because he's the liaison between like the paint/artist team and the engineers, the chemical engineers.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting hearing kind of the process of going through like developing these paints and the differences in like different professions. So like he went to them and he was like, hey, I want you to give me a paint that in a single coat of like red or something, whatever it was, takes me from like nothing to full opacity, and it like looks great. And he's like, in one coat.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, no problem, we can do that. He's like, what, really? Okay. And then they like make up a bunch of formulas and they send him the results. And he looks at them and he takes them, and he's like old school, so he like literally paints them on and like sees how they look and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, wow, these look terrible.
Oh no.
And they're like, he's like, something's going on. So what they did is they actually went ahead and they painted on different surfaces with paint, and they used in car painting, there's tools to measure the thickness of a layer of paint.
Yep.
So they used that to measure it, and I'm forgetting the exact like micron depth of it, but basically a chemical layer is about a fifth the layer of a painted layer of paint. So, or is it's like the opposite. Basically, the way when you paint something on, it's going to be way, way, way weaker than like a chemical layer of paint, essentially.
Right.
So he said, no, I need it to go in a single like paint layer, like
Yep.
5 times less paint, basically. And they're like, oh, no, that's really hard. He's like, yeah. so it's cool like hearing like how they kind of have this back and forth.
That is interesting. 'Cause
Yeah.
like someone who was pursuing a career in engineering, I'm always fascinated in knowing how something is made.
Yeah.
And like the differences between the two, which is why I know that like purple pigment is notoriously really hard to work with.
I find that fascinating. It's so cool. That technical side of thing, which you so rarely get to hear about. Right,
But yeah,
see.
that is the biggest difference between, like, if anyone asks, like, the major difference between, like, artist acrylic paints and model acrylic paints is that model acrylic paints are designed to go on as opaquely as possible in as little, like, paint as possible.
And is it primarily a factor of, like, pigment? Or is there other stuff involved?
No, I want to say that there's other stuff involved.
Okay,
It's a lot to do with like the binding agent as well too, and like the other side of it. But I don't know.
Yeah,
So
no,
that
that's
would be
fair.
really fascinating.
I always use like very like touchy-feely things like, oh, the strength of this paint or whatever. So I'm always curious.
Yeah.
So there you guys have it. Let us know in chat. I know I've been seeing some comments, but let us know what paint you're looking forward to. If you've we look forward to. I think these come out this Saturday, so let us know. And if you guys have one you want us to try, no promises, but maybe we can put something on something. Thank you, Gasanova. Hey Titans, guess I tuned into the right stream. Starting to paint my first vehicle. Hey,
Yay.
a Storm Speeder, Space Marines for Black Templars. Any suggestions/tips? Wow, literally the perfect stream. We're both painting black Space Marine vehicles. We talked a little bit about it, but any suggestions for that, Kat? How should you approach black when you're doing these big vehicles and stuff like that?
So my big thing when you're painting like swaths of like one color, you got to break it up a little bit, right? Like I will definitely break this up.
Yes.
This is just the like base coating of it. But my other thing is like kind of, I guess, similar to what you were doing, where you were trying to figure out like where the yellow is going to go and how you're going to break up, the color.
Exactly.
My other thing is that when you're painting black, I like to paint like a really light gray and get all of my highlights and everything going, and then I'll wash back down with either like a blue or a brown. Not necessarily like a black, because I just think that's too heavy. But that is my own like personal thing with it. If you're like, no, I want it to be like super heavy and intimidating, then do what you will with it. I think black primer is really great for that. But I don't like it when something looks just very like monotone. So I like breaking it up. I like highlighting the individual panels and stuff in a vehicle.
Picking up the details.
And then going through and adding in, if you're going to do Black Templars, do like a bunch of beiges and golds and maybe some reds. I think you can get away with that, but break it up. And if you don't know how to break it up, then put a bunch of decals on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That helps, honestly. It's a It's a very useful tool. So I think for me, I totally follow that same philosophy. The best way to paint black is by painting blues and grays, generally speaking. And the brown is cool too. I've also seen Brett did that with his Black Templars.
Yeah.
Something that's not that, and kind of work it down. The thing with black is like, you think about we're basically trying to replicate actual lighting on the model, and there's nothing, literally nothing in the world that is pure black. Vanta Black is the closest we've gotten to pure black, and even that still has a tiny amount of like light refraction on it. So nothing is actually truly black. This mouse is painted with black paint, but there's like the white that's reflecting from the lights, and then there's the like the little bits of like dust on it or whatever, and that's the way that things are on the table too. So yeah, basically just reiterating everything you said.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be our advice. But just like don't stress about it either, right? If you're like, oh, this is too much black in this, then pick out little panels and stuff, and like these models are great for it. They have all these little bits on it that you can just paint a different color, and that definitely breaks up the monotony of just having something be like this big black model on your table. Kitbashing also is really great as well too. Adding stuff onto it that is not part of it, and having that be a different color. It's
kind of like what you're saying with decals, but applied in a different way.
Yeah, but like they're 3D decals,
Right. Yeah. Bits. What are they if not 3D decals?
Exactly.
I totally agree. I think that's very insightful.
So do what you will. Especially if you've been collecting for a really long time, I'm sure you have a billion bits. Like I added this little bit, and I think it was from the same sprue that I got this head from, and it was just because it had a skull on it. And, Legion of the Damned is all about skulls, and that was it. I'll probably add a bit more. That was just what I had available.
Right. I really love scrolls. For, obviously Space Marines, but just generally speaking, because you have like this natural earthy kind of tone that breaks up whatever it is, if it's pure black or pure white or even just like crazy like ultramarine color, scrolls and ultramarines are great. So it's a similar idea, right?
Yeah, and since Black Templar are so like, would heretical be like a good thing for them? No.
Like religious, like pious.
Yeah.
They're all about the scrolls and the oaths and like hating people.
So I don't know. I don't know if this would be super like in with Black Templar stuff, but there was one point where I was going to paint a Baneblade for under like a Black Templar chapter, and I found some sort of like fan art on Google, and it was this whole symbol thing that would have been perfect on like the front part of a Baneblade.
Totally.
But it had all these candles like in the art, but I wanted to make them 3D and like make it look like they were sort of 100%. Like, oh,
I love that.
Praying-ish in a way.
Yes.
So, you can do that, get a bunch of like the sprue that it comes on, cut them into little tiny, I don't know, stuff. Little candle things maybe, and then glue some on there.
Get that dimensionality in there and really break it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So there's some thought. Thank you so much for your question and your support. It's a big help. I have officially put contrast in a paint pot, what's it called? Airbrush. What is this thing called? And I have these Warpfire braziers that are yellow base, and I'm experimenting with just airbrushing it on. It's coming on real thick, which is kind of neither here nor there. I'm a painter of habit. Like when I have a recipe for something that I like, I kind of just stick with it. And so for my green, it's just been like moot green and or some yellow with a BL tan wash on it. And for my warpstone kind of colors with this army, I'd like to try to get away from that a bit if I can. We'll see. So far, this is looking the same. But
you are using different paints.
It's different paints.
Yeah.
You know. And I will say, actually, Zach loves painting the air paints. I find some of them can be a bit splattery. Moot green is actually one of them. So what I'm applying right now is Mantis Warrior Green, which is one of the colors I was really excited to paint with. It's this very bright, vibrant green, and it's applying real smooth. I'm a fan.
Yeah, that was one thing that I really liked about the contrast paints, especially putting them through an airbrush. I honestly like putting them through an airbrush more than like your typical like air paints.
Because you don't get those pooling issues. It's just like a thin tint.
Yeah, and because they have like some sort of like jelly quality to them, you don't get like spitting a whole lot.
Exactly.
And they don't tend to dry like on the needle, and it's just, yeah, it's great, which is why I like mixing them with paints and stuff. I find that the consistency of them is very similar to the Transpirator from MIG, which I've talked about a couple times.
100%.
But yeah, it's just like a translucent paint medium, and it's different than like glaze medium. It's different than lame medium. It's different than acrylic thinner. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think the Transpirator from MIG is one thing that I would say is magical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not Mantis Warrior Green. I definitely poured some of that into that one. That was Striking Scorpion's Green, which I actually like better for this. Mantis Warrior is a little bit darker. But look, now it's Mantis Warrior with a little Striking Scorpion in it.
Wow.
A little homebrew there. Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna have to bring the yellow back up again, because now it looks so green and like dull compared to it. I don't know if it was always that dull or if it's just comparatively now, you know?
It looks very like fell fiery.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm into that. That's like, I wanted like, I've seen a couple artists do really cool Skaven Warpstone kind of glow stuff that was like bluish green, very thin. And I've tried to find like techniques for doing that. I just had just the hardest time. I felt like I could never really found the right verbiage to kind of search around for it. Because if you search for like Warpstone Glow, well, that's a paint that they sell.
Yeah.
So that search is just doomed. But so I ended up just kind of looking, like using them as like mood boards and stuff like that. So sometimes that's all you can do.
So have you tried messaging those artists?
No, I'm scared. I'm shy.
Oh, okay.
I'm shy. I should though. I should. People are nice, especially when it comes to talking about their own stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to talk about their stuff. So I should. I really should. Well, the tough thing is also, I think, I want a method that works for me, meaning I can't spend a million hours. And so this isn't a good reason not to ask someone.
No.
It's not.
Yeah.
But that's my main thing is like, how can you take this like beautifully done like technique and like I need like the Spark Notes
change
version.
it to be yours.
Yeah, exactly. So that's always a challenge. But I should just message them.
Yeah, I mean, like learning where they come from in the first place, right? Is to see what they do, and then seeing if you can use like similar paints and like maybe changing it up a little bit, right? Developing your own.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. Let's see. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. Really appreciate it. I'm trying to get caught up here. Thank you, Caldorf. Hi, Tobby Titans. Tobby Titans. That took a second. Tobby Titans. Have you tried different primers with the new contrast paints, or have you been sticking with the new one? The lion isn't spoken for. Oh, the lion's not spoken for. That's the Primarch of the Dark Angels. Organized.
A cat.
Oh. Oh my God. Okay. The date thing, I could go either way on him. What was the other thing? Sushi? Well, it's not so much sushi as it is like the cold meal. Like he doesn't have to like put something on a spit to feel like it's like a real meal. I don't know. That's pretty convincing. Think about that.
Okay, so I love sushi.
Yeah.
But I think if it came down to it, I would take like a rare steak any day. Okay, and there are times where I have turned down sushi, but I don't think I would ever turn down rare steak. Maybe it's like I have a stomach ache or something, and like sushi's always gonna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so
a rare steak is.
Like even if you were dying, you would still eat it.
Yeah.
That's fair. I can appreciate that. Look, it might be the lion. I don't know. Let us know in chat. Does the lion usurp Sanguinius? as Cat's Primarch.
Yeah.
The cat is like pretty compelling. Thank you, Mr. Cellophane. I primed a Chappie / Judiciary black, then zenithaled. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, Mr. Cellophane. I apologize. We totally skipped over the main part of Caldor's question. Have we tried different primers, or we're sticking with the new primer, which is White Scar? So
Korax White.
Korax White.
Yeah, they don't have White Scar anymore.
No.
Oh no, it is
It's
White
the
Scar.
opposite.
Yeah,
White Scar's the
there
new
you go.
one.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying with a bunch of different stuff. I'll be honest, most of the time I'm not going to use this. I think it's cool, it's great, it's nice that you have like a convenient starting point. But I will mostly work off of like my other airbrush stuff, frankly, most of the time. What would you say are like the benefits of like doing this versus not doing this?
It's faster.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
faster. You can get a consistent layer base.
You also don't have to have a whole airbrush compressor, whatever setup thing
Yeah,
going. Like if I'm
exactly.
painting at the store, I'll probably use a rattle can.
Yep.
But I don't think I've ever primed anything solely white before unless I just did not have anything else available.
Yeah, I've done it with my fists in the past. Just so I can go straight to yellow.
Yeah.
That's about it though, you know? So, yeah, I think it basically comes down to airbrush or non-airbrush.
Yeah.
I think you could use another white primer. I haven't tested it out though, right, to see like what the difference is. Obviously, they prefer you buy this one, and I'm sure it's great. But I haven't tried like the contrast on like a different type of primer, like a white primer.
Yeah.
I've been mostly on airbrush.
So I'll tell you what, I haven't been able to play with them because I've been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't have anything planned for traveling.
Yay!
At
Well,
least-
they're here. We
Yeah.
have two of everything.
So I'll try them.
You should give it a try. This is gonna be an
I'm gonna
ongoing
see
thing.
if I
you know?
can get someone else to build a bunch of Space Marines.
Look, I know a guy. Once he's done with building my Space Brains,
Yeah.
he'll be like, "Hey, Bridger, you want to build some Legion of the Damned?"
Well, it's also maybe I can see because this isn't my tank.
Yeah.
And I know that the person whose tank this is has a bunch of stuff
The
already built already, so maybe I can
perfect.
try them out.
The
that
well
way.
might not be dry yet.
The what? Oh,
The
yeah,
well
yeah.
of Space
yeah.
Marines.
There you go.
Metaphorical well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll let you know, Caldorf. We're going to continue to try this stuff. We're kind of focusing on it today because it's a fun new thing, but we're going to have it continuously. So if you guys ever want to see, we'll try stuff out. So Mr. Cellophane, apologies. I primed a Chappie / Judiciary in black, then zenithaled Mechanicus Standard Gray top down over them. Where to go now? Okay. So these are characters that are both generally painted. They're black.
Yeah,
primer.
yeah.
So where would you take it from?
Yeah.
Here?
If you're looking for a quick thing, then I would whip out one of these contrast paints and do like a quick glaze over it. My only thing is that I feel like there's not as big of a step between Mechanicus Standard Gray and black. I prefer more contrast, but I can see how that is super easy.
That's fair.
If you don't want to use a contrast paint, then I would do some edge highlighting. That would be the next thing. If you don't want to edge highlight, then get your dry brushes out and dry brush the heck out of it with like a really, really light gray. And then wash it back down with some Norm oil or something.
Yeah. Or
and
like
then-
the blue. Right?
Yeah. True. Yeah, you can do Bealtown?
Drakenhof Nightshade.
Drakenhof Nightshade. There you go.
Drakenhof.
Yeah. I think that would be actually really cool. Or you could do... You did not pick out all the duplicates. That's interesting.
I've noticed a few that I missed. And they're like next to each other, which I'm not sure.
Or you can do... you can wait and see when the new stuff comes out. But I think this like grime color, whatever it is...
Yeah.
I'm picking up a
Mortarian
bunch
grime.
of like...
Doubles.
Not doubles,
That's
but
all
like
one
all the
paint.
old ones.
Oh, yeah. Well, because the shades, there's not that many new shades, right?
No, but like I don't know where the other one that
If you want
liked.
like a light, you mentioning that Mechanicus Gray is still pretty close to black.
Mm-hmm.
I also like Administratum Gray as like the next level up without going to something super, super bright. So you could, if you're wanting to do or willing to do one more highlight layer, you could do that and just kind of pick out like the very tippy tops of the pieces of armor or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That'll give you. This was actually one of the suggestions that Zach had heard from the painting judges, was just like, go back, and every time you think that you're done, add another layer, just a little bit lighter and a little bit more focused.
Yep.
And so he just like tells me this very simple thing, and then I like went and painted like the bear off, and I was like, it was like magic. I was like, yeah, it turns out if you just take more, if you do more layers, more gradations, it really, really works. And it's like the dumbest, simplest thing, but I was like, yeah, I guess that's what it took. Like hearing that.
I mean, sometimes like when you hear feedback, you're like, oh, duh.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, but now you know, like, and that's always going to be like a thing that you think about now. And so, yeah, that's why I like painting competitions a lot. Like, I don't do it because I'm like, oh, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
I do it because like it really sort of hones in your skills, right? Cool. It's like taking a test and then getting feedback on your test and being like, oh, you missed this because of this, right? Like,
and you get like
you learn more from failing. I feel. Yeah. Exactly. And it's not really a fail because like you get this really cool, awesome piece that you know you poured your heart and soul into, and someone tore it apart in front of you, and it's great.
In hopefully a productive way, right?
Yes.
Like there's a million people on the internet who would love to tear the work apart, but it's like you need the person that will like do that in a helpful way.
Yeah, especially someone whose work you already really like as well.
That would be
really
ideal, right?
Yeah.
Because you're also like, especially with something as subjective as painting, there's like you want to be sure that they're leading you in the right direction, right?
Right.
It's kind of like we were saying with the whole Gundam thing and like doing like the sort of 2D style. It's like the person who's going to be geared toward that is going to give you different feedback than someone who is more about like photorealism, and the kind of the feedback and the advice is going to be kind of reflected.
It's different, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you respect that person's style and how they paint, and even just their knowledge, because chances are, even if their style isn't your thing, they probably know a heck of a lot more about painting than you did.
Yep.
But yeah. So anyway.
Absolutely.
Edge highlighting would be my next step after that. If you don't want to do anything like super crazy, if you don't want to do that one extra step of highlighting just a bit more, then edge highlighting and picking out those details would be the next thing.
Totally. Thank you, Code Cubster. Hi, I was talking with some peeps in the Discord about stripping paint and primer. They recommended simple green or purple stuff. What has worked for you? Yeah. Everyone gives a different answer based off of their own preferences. So I'll start. I actually just use literally 91% isopropyl. It's very strong. It just gets the job done.
That's what I used to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, perfect. Look at this.
Yeah, and hot water and a toothbrush and some elbow grease, and you're good to go.
It's just very, very effective.
Yeah.
I have never had any like melting problems or whatever, and it works very, very fast. And now, thankfully, we're at at least in the U.S. we're at a point in the pandemic where you can actually buy it in stores. There was a time where you just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
You could find like the 70%, and that just actually doesn't work as well.
No, it has to be 90 or above.
Yeah.
For sure.
So yeah.
And I usually, but that's what I used to clean my airbrush as well too. So I usually always have like a bunch on hand.
It's just super helpful, and it's just very intense, gets the job done. So yeah, there you go. Toothbrush is big too. Like just sitting it won't be enough. You're gonna want to agitate it, scrub it, put it in it for a bit longer. Stuff
So
like
get
that.
hot water. Hot water is really good too.
Yeah.
That's what I use to get like super glue off my fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to buy Simple Green once, but there was there was another company. It wasn't Simple Green. It was like Simple Clean.
Oh,
so I bought it and it did not work. And I was like, what is this? Everyone's talking about how
I think that's like the Target brand or something.
Yeah. I think it was the Walmart one. Yeah. It's like the knockoff brand. So don't do that.
Yeah, if you're going to try anything, make sure it is the brands that everyone says it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
But yeah, 90% and above isopropyl alcohol, toothbrush, hot water, and some patience and some time. Yeah.
Just a good all-purpose thing to have.
If you find that like one thing in particular is like really stubborn, just like give it a light sanding and then soak it again, and then you should be good to go. So.
Absolutely. This is a follow-up, Mr. Cellophane, which we might have already covered it, but he said, AKA, I'm worried about black armor will hide highlights, right? So, yeah, that's why these gray edge highlights are so important, right?
Yeah.
Picking out those details, where the edges are, maybe where the light's highlighting them, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, also, especially with the Judicator, I think the Judicator is carrying like a lantern thing, right? Like a little...
It's an hourglass, it's like a glowing hourglass.
Yeah, so you can edge highlight in whatever color you're going to be painting that, because it's just the light reflection as well, so...
It's a nice tie-in that they built into the model.
Yeah.
It's like a nice light source. So I totally agree.
You know, you can do that, and then really you're just focusing on the edge highlighting of like where that light source would be coming from. If you want to edge highlight like on the back of the model, then that would be like a gray or a blue would work as well too.
Exactly. So. I wish I had a closer zoom. Nope, that's you. This is as close as it gets. Anyways, so I went back and I hit this up with white. Again, this is just dead white from Vallejo Game Air. Almost kind of to answer your question, Kaldorf. Yeah, that basically put the white back again, and now I'm going over it with the Imperial Fist yellow, and you can see just how much brighter and more vibrant it is. And it worked perfectly fine, even though it's not White Scar. So, and I'm also able to sort of feather it out by kind of going towards the green and gradually releasing it. So I get a bit more of a blend there than I had previously. So just kind of going back and forth between these two colors and give me the mix that I want. So it's fun. You're pondering contrast.
Yeah.
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 Are you inspired?
I don't know. I think I might want to do purple.
You should. I really want to see purple.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to do purple. What is this one? That is purple.
Ooh.
Let me see how purpley purple it is.
Leviathan purple? Leviathan?
Oh, it's not even open.
It's fresh. Probably for the best. I might have mixed a different color in.
Oh, that's like super purple. That's like purple purple.
Jack can zoom. Thanks, nerd. Oh no. Zach's not gonna have me on again. Yeah, it's really deep purple.
Yeah. That might be not what I want.
Not the thing for you.
Yeah. Oh, unless I can thin it really quick.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But that's green. Is there a purple shade?
Yeah, so it's Drukari Violet. Drukari Violet. If it's not here, let me know. I'll grab the cart because it should be here. Oh, you know what? I was just using it. It's here. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I love Drukari Violet. Thanks, nerd. Yeah, LA is awesome. LA is totally awesome. Is another cleaner that I've heard people use. Okay, let's see. Where am I at here? I think I might go ahead and wash this black with some Drakenhof Nightshade. I'm just following the chaos today. I'm just going everywhere my heart pleases. So we're back to the Kratos, and I'm just going to wash this down right after I clear the yellow out of this.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might just do Nuln.
Look, if you're not feeling it.
Yeah, because the tank's already blue, and I am gonna put like an OSL glow from these guys onto him.
Oh, that's fair.
So I don't want to go too crazy, but I also don't want him to blend into the tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whoop. Boop. Okay. Let's try this again. Drakenhof Nightshade. Nightshade.
Okay, we'll see.
I believe in you.
I thank you.
We're all gonna watch with bated breath. Sorry, guys. There you go. You're doing great.
Yeah, so now I'm only just using this Nuln to like blend in some of the rough like blends that I've done.
Totally.
Just to smooth it out a little bit. Because I did highlight him mainly where the glow is coming from these spirit hosts. So when I go to paint in the OSL, it'll stand out a little bit more.
Oh, interesting. That's really smart. I like that. Now, here's a question. I don't know if, here's a question.
Okay.
You know, you say the paint will, the wash will blend it in.
Uh-huh.
And I 100% believe in this phenomenon, have seen this phenomenon. But like, do you know why that is the case? Like, it's crazy. I'll have like speckly airbrush paint and I'll wash it.
Uh-huh.
And it just magically looks blended all of a sudden, which is crazy.
So it's glazing.
All right, you know what? Fair enough. Touche. I know, I think I've discovered it.
That's a really cool technique you came up with.
But it's like so crazy. I'm killing myself for this, but it's literally magic. Like, it's obviously not actually melting the paints and blending them, but it just works.
No, you're putting a filter that's the same color as, the other filter that you're putting on everything else, and so it is filling in those like rough patches and stuff like that. Yeah.
So
it does smooth it out.
So crazy.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a certain amount of like visual blending that's happening too. Like even where it's like not physically filling them in.
Yeah.
There's like this cohesive, not sheen, but like tint to the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
That makes our eyes read it as such.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
again,
welcome to the world of glazing.
Very like non-technical terms, yeah. Magic. Oh man. How's everyone doing in chat? All right, let's see. So I'm gonna let that sit. Skaven.
Yeah, the thing about spraying Nuln oil on something that's like already pretty dark is it's really hard to see where I've already sprayed.
Right, yeah,
and I'm trying not to get that like
keep going.
push
of
paint.
It's like, I don't know if you've done any like digital art, but in Photoshop, there's like the dodge and burn tool.
Uh-huh.
And it basically what it does is it will either lighten or darken the area that you're kind of painting over, but it's always relative. And it does it basically based off of that's like single strokes. If you're like clicking and holding and you're painting like a whole area and you let go and you go back, well, now it's a second stroke, meaning if you retouch any of those areas will be darker. And if there's if you're like halfway touching the area that you already hit and the area that you haven't, you'll have this like awkward line of where you first started doing it.
Aww.
And it's just like there's no winning for it, which is why there's better ways of doing that. But it's totally like that when you do these washes and you like end up going in a circle, and all of a sudden the whole model is just completely black, Let's see. Curtis, what's up, Curtis? Finished a falcon, working on a lobster. Love it. Good to hear. Good to hear. That's the what is it? It's called it's the Hornet, which is the little Eldar little vehicle. Zac did one.
Okay.
The red one.
Okay, I see. I see why it's called the lobster now.
It's a lobster.
Makes sense.
And Crypt Shadow, serious guess on why the shades do what they do. The paint fills in the micro small little dots, gaps that airbrush might leave, or something, probably just magic. Look. And it is basically what you said. So, hey, pretty good guess.
Yeah. Well, because like when people come into the store and they go, well, what's the difference between like the shades and glazes?
Yeah.
And I'm like, nothing. It's all in how you apply it.
Honestly, though, that like turned me off for such a long time because I was like, oh, glazes, washes, like, I don't, it's scary if you don't know.
Yeah.
So I was totally one of those people. I still am until today.
No, I get it. Like to me, like glazing, when you think of glazing, you're like, oh, it makes it shiny,
right, exactly.
whatever, like glazing like a pot or something, right? In pottery. No, it's just all in how you apply it.
So interesting.
which is fun to be able to like answer that question and be like, nothing. But I understand
nothing.
why you would think that way.
Yeah. It's also the way they get marketed, you know. These companies want you to. I think partially is like they obviously want you to feel like their paints are specialized, and then partially I think part of the thinking is like it gives guidance to people who don't know what they're doing. But some of these terms are just more confusing for someone who doesn't know what they're doing. You know, like you have to be in the know to know that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going over with some Biel Tan Green, which is a shade. And because it's much less opaque, it's going to give me this nice blending and give a bit of a darkness to it. When I have like evil glow, I like to do it like this, where it's like the inverse.
Yeah.
Like the light source is brighter, and then it gets kind of darker and like dirtier as it gets out. So I kind of want to have it be darker at the edges here.
That would be like how you would paint fire, right?
Fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, well, it would be. Yeah, that's true. That's true. With dirty fire, it's worse, right? Like when I do chaos fire, it goes to pure black, which kind of suggests that there's like smoke, that it's like not burning something clean.
Yeah.
But if it was like nice boy fire, you wouldn't have the black. Yeah, you have kind of the same idea.
Yeah.
You have like the source is the eye, or the face, and then it kind of emanates from there.
Yeah, and these are just rough put in.
Right.
Yeah.
But you have the color blocking that kind of shows that same concept. I don't know how to wash this yellow. How do you think I should, like, how can I get shading in the yellow without totally darkening
Covering
it?
the yellow?
Yeah.
I mean, you can use this, right? Like,
Ooh.
and like a brush and just touch it into places.
Do like a very targeted wash.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give that a go. I like that. A lot of time with yellow, I'll actually do like an Agrax, but that will really darken it.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll give that a go. Cassandora yellow. Here we come. Well, I think it's almost time for fan stuff.
Yay! Cool, because I'm about to paint this guy's eyes, and he will not be on camera for me to do that.
You prefer him to not be?
Well,
or you want to be on?
If I paint him right now, you will not be able to see me paint his eyes. I will have him like shoved up to my face.
Fair
is
enough.
what I mean.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's do fan stuff then, yeah? Fan stuff! All right, let's see. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. Apologies if I missed anything. I don't normally do this, obviously, but it was fun looking through the Discord. If you guys want to have your stuff shown up here, of course, you can put it in the Discord. It's free for everyone. In Hobby Progress, or Hobby Progress is the main one. I know Zach patrols for a few in different like sections.
Yeah.
But I think Hobby Progress is the main one.
I mean, I try and do everything.
Yeah.
At least when I do it, I really make sure to look at terrain as well too, because I'm big on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hobby Progress, Armies on Parade.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that one as well.
That's the normal.
Not
just
the
the normal.
channel, probably.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
just a normal chat as well too. My other thing is that if it's not yours, if you could preface that like, hey, this isn't mine, but like I'm posting this because whatever, because that's a big thing. I think that's what I spend the most amount of time when I'm looking through them, and I'm like, is this the person?
Right.
And then I'll like see something, be like, yeah, I really like this, like what they did with it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Make sure it's close to it, so we know when you're just showing something that's inspiration. So let's take a look. Fan stuff. All right, this is stuff we didn't actually ask him, but we think John would like. So this Chaos Night was actually put up because we were discussing this the other day on one of the streams. So thank you so much for putting up the progress. I love this targeted wash with this nice like green. It's almost like the oxide.
Yeah.
Gives it a nice effect.
That's interesting, because like I don't think I've ever noticed that there's that many like.
Oh well, yeah.
Lines
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Because normally we do the opposite thing, right? It's like do the highlights and then the rest kind of washes away. But there's so much detail work on these Chaos Nights.
Yeah, this is really cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
It reminds me, in a good way, of Monster Energy drink.
Oh, really?
It's like almost like the neon green glow on the black.
Yeah, I would say it's more like, well, at least on this monitor.
Classy.
I don't know what it actually looks like. If it is neon green, then that'd be cool. But it looks like Baja Blast to me.
It does look, yeah. I think it actually probably is like the turquoise.
Like a mint.
Like or Nihilok Oxide even. So fantastic work. this is, I was alluding to this earlier, this is Orczak painting an Astraeus for his salamanders. And oof, this model is a beast.
Well, how big would that be
So,
compared to?
It's this big.
Wow.
I'll hold it for chat so you
okay.
guys can see. It's big, 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 big.
Wow.
It's the biggest Space Marine tank, Forge World, actually. And it's the only Forge World Primaris tank, meaning like second gen, basically. So it's a massive undertaking.
That's huge.
He's doing a lot of things we talked about, right? You're breaking up the color. It's not just all green. He's got the nice black panels, breaking it up, and the silver as well.
And the silver guns, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that on the top of it? It's like a yellowy thing.
Let's see. You mean this thing right here?
Yeah.
So that's like a little Aquila.
Oh, that's this.
Yes. So it's basically it's probably a gold if you look up closer.
Interesting.
Which are always tough because, like you can see, there's actually not many others.
Yeah.
You can see the mask, but they can't see it. But there's not many of them on there. So it's like randomly, what other kind of color do you want to highlight it? And I think gold works. Like metals, I think, can work pretty well for this.
Yeah.
I think I also like whites.
True. Yeah. True. Yeah, this is huge. So
It's a
this is great. Yeah.
So this is lovely. They put up, I had to pick one, but he had a bunch of these amazing Dark Angels with like custom parts and painting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like when people paint.
Oh,
I like when people paint.
That's
yeah,
good. You're in
great.
the right place, Kat.
I like when people post a bunch of different pictures as well too, because you get a bunch of different angles. It's also very helpful for us to go like, hey, go to the Discord and look at the rest of them.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, this is really cool. I mean, this immediately jumped out to me. I also like that they're on a table as well too.
I like it. I know
really cool.
there's like the temptation to always put it on like a blank background. But this is also really cool. Like if you have some nice terrain, use it.
It definitely highlights like everything about the model as well too, I think. But this is really cool. I don't know if I'd be able to recognize this model.
So they're definitely custom. And I'm not sure how custom. They might even be entirely. They're basically Deathwing Knights.
Okay.
It's like a specific kit of Dark Angels. And again, I think it's like a different version of a specific kit.
Yeah.
So they have like the robes, the shields, and you can see the guy on the left has like the big flails.
Yeah, it's just reminding me of some movie, but I can't place it.
Place it.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
I also really like the cleanliness of the green with the white. I think you don't see that very often.
Well, if you look at the robes and stuff, like the robes look like they're very shiny.
So sharp.
And I like it. Yeah. That's really cool.
Big fan.
All the highlights on it are really well done.
And truly, if you guys want to see more, it's on the Discord. All right, up next. So this is a two-parter, and I'm including this because, again, we don't talk a ton about conversions on the stream. We haven't lately. So I wanted to include this really cool conversion for Alpha Legion, and I needed two photos to really convey all the work.
How much work has gone into it? Yeah.
It's crazy. It's like looks like this old mark of armor with the new Noise Marine helmet, and then this custom sniper with the barrel, I think, is plasticard, and some old, definitely like recycled bits. When I say old, I mean like this is literally was a model painted and is being refurbished for this amazing Alpha Legion conversion.
Yeah. I mean, when I see like kitbashing, especially like really well done kitbashing, where like part of it's like been sculpted in to like fully blend in everything.
Yeah.
That's so impressive.
Right?
Like I would never, if it was fully painted, I'd never be able to tell.
Yeah.
What part came from which. I don't know,
Makes it
bits
cohesive.
like that. But it's really cool when other people can of like, oh man, they took like 7 different kits and
there's like an appreciation of it, right?
Yeah.
As long as people aren't too reductivist, I've had people walk up and be like, oh, so you used the Hellbrood as a demon prince, and like, yeah, and it's like,
oh, do people have issues? Oh, well,
they
people
like,
always have issues with everything, but yeah.
I'm also just difficult. Like, I hate it when someone's like in a costume, specifically me, and they're like, what are you supposed to be? And it's like, no, and not what I'm supposed to be. I am Batman. Can't you tell? It's like they're like suggesting that you failed.
Oh.
And what they're just trying to ask what your costume is.
Yeah.
So like I hate the way that that's worded.
Oh no.
And it's like, no, I succeeded at being this person.
Oh, well, what are you trying to paint here?
Yeah. Is that supposed to be an ultramarine? What?
It is, clearly.
Yeah, it's like
are
the
you blind?
implication is so horrible. It's so mean. So anyways, lovely Kit Bash.
That's really cool. I like that. I also think it's gaining a lot more popularity as well too, of people like sculpting and or kit bashing as well too, which is great.
Just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
You can do a bad job. Like that's what it's about. Just having fun with it, you know?
Make it yours.
Make it yours.
Ooh.
Isn't this scheme great?
Ooh.
It's so gorgeous.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. That's really cool. This is Necrons, right?
Yeah, Necrons.
Yeah. And is that a Silent King?
Silent King right in the middle, Silent K.
I love that.
With the miniers. It's so like alien and like kind of freaky, you know?
It almost looks like you're looking at them through like a filter.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This is really cool.
I'm a big fan.
Like they're negative Space Marines, or not
That's
Space
exactly
Marines, Necrons.
Like. Yeah, they're like negative. Like your eyes aren't supposed to be able to like see them.
Yeah.
You can't read them as like a human.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's
really
awesome.
Lovely work. And of course, Necrons. We love Necrons.
Yeah, I like how the basing like just matches the colors.
Yeah, they went all in.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what? There's pink on the army, and we're gonna do pink on the ground.
But yeah, it looks like there's like a negative filter over the photo, which is cool.
Gosh, I almost like want to put this through a negative filter and see what it looks like, because it would literally be
black and
oh my God.
Like a.
Would this be green?
It would be close to green.
Oh my God.
It'd be close to green because it's not red enough for it to be green, but
that's true.
it
Red
would
is
be. It's the opposite of magenta.
I don't know.
Ooh, my color theory's like failing me right
wow.
now.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm just playing.
Yeah, it'd be like a bluish, like a teal.
Teal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know, in some ways, teal is better than green. I also like, this is definitely like on a couch or some upholstery. Nice use of, you know, what you have around, I think. Basically, very simple. Good separation between the model, and I'm gesturing with the mouse. You guys can't see that. I'm like in teacher mode. It's a nice separation of the models in the foreground and the background. It's clean. It's not distracting. So you know, use what you have, and they did a great job here with that.
Yeah, I take it back. It would be like a
green, yellow,
like a orangey green. Yeah,
an orangey green
or yellowy green. Yeah.
Right, because it's on that side of the spectrum.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, towards the yellows.
Yep.
Hey, digital designer. Also, as always, a great reminder: if you guys want to make sure you have credit,
put your name on it. Yeah.
It's a perfect way. We literally can't take off. Not that we would try to. Digital had a bunch. This is another case of like check it out in Discord because Digital has been working on a bunch of Grey Knight stuff as usual, and they're looking fantastic.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect example of like you have this big giant black thing. How do you make it not look so mundane? And you just pick out all the different bits and paint them different colors.
Yeah. This is a bit of everything we're talking about, huh? We've got some bits there. We've got some basically decals. I think it's by hand, but you know, decals will do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
You got some 3D decals. That's great.
3D decals. That's so good. So thank you, as always, digital designer. This army, I just love. It is a full army shot rather than like close-ups because I just love the overall composition too. Like, you know, Bellicor in here with the rest of the, again, gesturing with the mouse. Bellicor with the rest of the Slaanesh demons, and it's just really nice and cohesive.
This is really cool. It's really cool. It's so.
You can do this.
What's the one with the spiky hands? Keep her secrets.
Keep her secrets. Yeah.
Wow! Look, I did it.
You did the thing. You're like you like describe the model. You're like, I know the name. You like describe what you see in front of you. Fair enough. Yeah, the keepers and the Slaanesh demons just in general, they're really great.
This is really cool. I like the color scheme that you have here as well too. I think it balances out really, really well. It's Slaanesh, but it's like different Slaanesh because most of the Slaanesh I've seen, like they're mainly magenta, mainly purple. This is like hints of purple, hints of magenta.
Yeah, I like leaning more into that blue, and the whites is a good use too.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, it definitely makes those pieces stand out.
Lovely work.
Yeah.
Yeah, digital confirms it was in fact all freehand. No decals.
Nice.
No 2D decals. All right. So this is, I'm totally blanking. It's Gord, Chaos Gord. Oh my gosh. It's like a thing. Like he does all. It's like Gord themed. We saw Gord themed knights. This is Gord themed demons chaos.
What is Gord?
Gord it's Death Gord. That's what it is. As in like a squash, like a gourd.
Oh,
so they're all
okay.
like pumpkins and different gourds.
Oh, cute.
So
okay.
it's a pun and it's also a stylistic choice. So Death Gord is the army.
I thought it was like a thing in 40K.
No.
Oh, it's the name of a dude. It's just a squash.
You know the gourds. Yeah, bro.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And so they were in a bit of a rut, but definitely back. And I mentioned this not because I noticed, but because they said it on the Discord.
Yeah.
Back in working on and painting models, and look, it's looking awesome. Again, another example of go check it out on Discord because they have other amazing Death Gord models. Mm-hmm. So I just love this theme. It makes me so happy.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I've never heard of that before, but that's
Death
really
Gord.
awesome.
Alrighty, let's see. Look at this stunning
Ooh.
lighting. Like this is stunning.
Okay, I know the monitor is really weird. Is that purple or is that blue?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say it's a blue purple.
Like a periwinkle.
Periwinkle. That's exactly what it is.
That used to be my favorite color. So this is
Very
amazing.
specific.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's just amazingly fine work.
Yeah, the highlights on it are fantastic. It's also very smooth as well too, which is really, really, really cool.
And it's got to be by hand at that scale, especially if you guys can look up real close to that. It's just absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
So big fan.
Great job.
Don't forget the last arm.
Ooh.
This is the...
A Tyranid.
Is it? Hey, there you go.
Wow.
Is it Tyranid, two nids? This is the Parasite of Mortrex, the new Tyranid model that came out. And it's an absolute joy to paint.
It's the thing that like gives you little bitty things.
Yeah,
right?
it like puts little aliens inside of you and then they come out and while they're inside of you, you actually have a rule called It Itches. And it makes it so you can't hold points because you're,
Yeah, you're too
dealing
distracted.
with that.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But this is really cool. I didn't know that. Is the model like that, or did they like freehand a bunch of designs on it?
It's basically just a regular membrane, so you can see the sort of like the like skeletal structure, like a normal wing would be, like a bat wing. Mm-hmm. But then all those kind of black, jagged patterns and like the vein pattern, that's all freehand.
Wow.
And they've done a really nice job on it. And it's not a big model too. The wings are probably about yay big.
Yeah.
So.
Great job.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Really done.
I forgot. I think it was last week, but someone did like the line camo stuff. That's just like the sneaky lines and stuff.
Totally.
That's really hard to get like all even, and that's what this reminds me of. So that's really good.
And it's painstaking too. Like they have.
And they're all highlighted as well too.
Exactly. Yeah. They did like the stroke around them too. So, yeah, very very nice. I love it. So this one I wanted to include in particular because this is the person's very first Chaos Space Marine.
Aww.
And I wanted to welcome them into the Chaos world.
Yeah, of painting every little thing at detail ever all the time.
Hope you like trim. So super excited. Of course, it's Black Legion, which is an awesome Legion's classic. So yeah, welcome to Chaos and doing great work.
Yeah, you have the patient of a saint.
Oh my gosh.
To paint Chaos.
Mel's just like, every time I see you painting, you're just painting gold trim.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like literally. So I did the gold trim for Thousand Suns. I'm doing gold trim for Black Legion. Also gold trim for the Emperor's Children. And when I'm done, I'm going to do bronze trim, different, for the World Eaters.
Change it up. Yeah.
Changing it up.
Well, that one stream where Zach and I were painting the spiders.
Yep.
I had pretty much finished painting the spider, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll just got to do the trim.
Right.
And I'm like, when I started, I was worried that I was going to finish too quickly, and then I'm like,
that's the whole story.
It just doesn't end. That's it.
It's so painstaking. It does look good when you're done.
Yes, it looks really, really, really cool. But gosh.
You gotta love it or do it in batches.
Exactly.
I'll even do it in batches on the models. Like you can see, like the thigh trim. Sometimes I'll cheat and like leave it until later.
Oh, true.
Like I'll try to find some potentially optional trim.
Yeah.
And just like leave it out consistently and then come back and do it. So.
But on this model, everything is done.
Yeah. You're committed now.
Yeah.
Also,
Great job.
very, very nicely done. Love the decal work too. That's dedication. And here we are back at the beginning. So, look, that's fan stuff. Amazing community in the Discord. Again, the Discord is totally free. You guys can join and share your work in there. We love to check it out and just celebrate it. We don't do critiques here. We just like to celebrate and look at cool, awesome stuff that you guys are working on.
Yeah.
So
I will critique if you ask.
Yes.
Only
we can.
Only if you ask.
Yep.
I know a couple of people have asked me, which is also why I get mentioned in things and then I can't find it. And
now you know why you didn't get the critique that you're asking for.
Yeah. You could also just do it again or whatever, whatever. I try and look, but I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, so.
Yeah, you've been traveling a lot.
I'll get back into it. So.
Yeah, for sure. So let us know.
Good job.
Yeah.
Awesome. So where are you at now?
I'm not sure. I was going to ask you, actually. I'm super flexible today. Like, I can go infinitely or not infinitely. So, kind of, I'm going to follow your lead.
Okay.
How are you feeling on yours?
Well, I'm going to paint his eyes, and I'm going to block in the colors of his little fire crown. After that, there is some, filling that I want to do on this guy, because I am noticing the little holes
Once we talked about
that they go into. So I'll file that back down and fill it.
Makes sense.
So before I glue them in.
Cool.
But other than that, I think on the tank, I'm gonna paint the guns and get all the little bits going and stuff. Yeah. So I could probably go infinitely.
Yeah,
well.
I feel you.
So
okay.
But
yes.
he is done except for his eyes.
Except for the eyes.
And the little thing on his chest and on his shoulder.
Cool.
But that's it. Yeah.
Well, let's do that. Well, then we'll see where we're at. So you're gonna do the eyes and the chest. I'm gonna do. What am I gonna do? Kind of want to do some more Skaven. So. Yeah, I think we're not gonna do the yellow just yet on the Kratos. I think that's a good stop-off point right there. Frankly, because I also really don't want to apply masking materials until it's totally cured. The wash, it's a little bit tacky still. So we're gonna go to Skaven. So for my clan rats, I basically have the flesh/fur color down, which is like a bone white with some sepia on it. And they're such an awkward model to paint. Or they're an awkward unit to paint because they're not consistent. They're not like Marines where everyone wears the same thing. Like these guys, some of them have armor plates, some of them have no armor plates, some of them have more cloth, different types of cloth. So I was having the worst time trying to figure out a workflow with the airbrush, and I came to the horrifying conclusion that I probably just need to do most of it by hand.
Yep.
And so here we are. So, and oddly enough, I only have 3 warp flames, which is not good. I have a totally undone warp flame in the back. It would not be ideal. So I'm gonna take a look at that.
Oh no.
And I assume you're probably gonna have to get super close. So you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Is that gonna mess up your process?
I'll see if I can paint it.
Yeah, let me know. We can always watch from afar.
So I took my glasses off because I can see a lot better up close without them on. So if I stray, I'm very sorry, but I don't want to get red where it shouldn't be.
Doing that detail work, so taking the glasses off. It's good. Interesting choice. Yeah, okay. I don't see any other warp flames, so maybe it's at home on a coffee table or something. But I did find another clan rat. So, all right. Oh, thank you, Hamsterdam. Hey, Hobby Titans. How do you feel about very different edge highlights? Like a light blue with bronze edge highlights. Other combos. Ooh, that's a great question, and it's a contentious topic. Depending on who you ask, will give you different opinions. For me, it really depends. So, for metals, I almost always like edge highlighting. If I do an edge highlight, which I don't always for metals, I actually don't like edge highlighting in silver. So like doing a gold or a bronze, and then you wash it down, and then you do a silver edge highlight on it, which I like it because it just looks good. Does it make any sense lighting-wise? No, absolutely not. Because like metal paints are weird. We were mentioning earlier, basically the fact that we're baking in like a lighting source into a model. Yeah. And metallic paints actually do the opposite. They say, hey, this material
shiny.
It's shiny. Yeah, it's gonna react to like real world light, like not in-game light. And so you're saying, okay, well if that's the premise, then there's no point or any need to like do additional lights on top of that, right?
Right.
By doing the silver highlight, I'm basically reintroducing another light source, but it's also shiny. So it makes no sense. But I like the way it looks. So at the end of the day, it's kind of one of those things where I just kind of throw a reason to the winds.
Yeah, I will disagree with you. I think the
Yeah.
best way that you can paint true metallics is in a very similar fashion as you would do non-metallics.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, we'll agree to disagree on that.
That's fair. That's fair. I like it. What about different? So here, I'll give you an example. I'm thinking about my Harlequins, which are done in largely black. They have other colors, but on the black edges, I'll do like a pretty electric blue edge highlight. And I'm okay with them. I'm okay doing it on them because they're kind of like Mirage-y, synth wave-y.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of fine with it. But I've seen people do this kind of edge highlighting that I think Amsterdam is also referring to on different types of things. Like, how do you feel about that?
I personally don't care too much. As long as you pick something and stick with it,
Yeah.
and it's done tastefully,
Sure.
then I'm sure it's gonna look great. I don't think that is what would stick out to me for the most part. You know, like, oh, they put a color on, you know, what would be metallic, or they put a bronze edge highlight on something that isn't bronze already. I don't know. I don't know what the controversy with that would be. But
It's just like, again, it comes down to like people sometimes feeling like it doesn't match. It doesn't look the way it would look in real life, I think.
fair. But
Which that's usually less of a concern for me.
these guys don't exist.
Yeah. You tell me how to paint my
They
demons.
have a bunch of futuristic technology on them. Who are we to say how light would react to
Exactly.
them?
Well, that's why, like, on the Harlequin specifically, like, I'm fine doing it, because I'm like, they're crazy colors anyways, you know, crazy materials. So, for me, it's kind of a case-by-case basis.
Oh, no.
Gosh, this Garagak sewer is so thick. That's not the technical term, but it's just like that is it, without a medium or diluting.
Yeah.
I'm always conflicted on, like, dark browns with contrast. Because I feel like they can be a bit heavy-handed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, one of the contrast paints that I used when I was painting the little bone, the dragon bone terrain piece from the Thondian Stronghold stuff was Cygor brown, and that's a very, 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 very dark brown.
Right.
But I find that if you have like a really wet brush and you use it somewhat like you would use a shade,
Yes.
it's so great.
Exactly. Yeah, and the wet brush basically thins it down.
Yes. And I know people will be like, oh, don't thin contrast paints with water. I'll thin it with whatever I want to.
Yeah, I'll do what I want. I'm totally in the same camp there.
If it works for me, then it works for me.
Yeah, exactly. Do what works for you. Dun, dun, dun. So hopefully that's helpful, Amsterdam.
Yeah, I don't like dictating how people should paint.
Yep.
You paint the way you want to paint. If you want my advice, I will give it to you. But when it comes to like thoughts on a paint style, maybe personally it's not for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna go, oh, that's ugly, or no one should ever paint like that.
What are those supposed to be?
Yeah, or that's not how it's meant to be.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense with art.
Why didn't you paint by the colors? That's not how it looks on my codex.
Yeah, I feel ya. Okay. Very painstaking work here.
Yeah,
Don't worry, it's fine. Everything's fine.
I have to hold my breath. So
Yeah, no, you're good. You do you, and then we'll see if we can even Attenborough it or not. Like, if we catch it, we catch it. Camera ray. We all paint in different strokes. There you go. There you go. don't know if you guys can see here. It's getting the browns. Although now I'm feeling like it's a lot of brown on brown. It's like the brown with the khaki undertones, so I might end up swapping that out. We'll see. This is Garagak's Sewer.
These are the first of your Skaven that you're painting, or?
Yeah. Well, I painted.
Oh, so you're still like discovering what you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah, I painted the Deathmaster, and I kind of did him in my normal styles, and I'm trying to not just fall into different habits. You know, like I always do black as a supporting color, and I always use the Americana font for the wraps and stuff like that. So it's like certain materials. So I'm trying to shake it up a bit. Not take it for granted. And it's a good opportunity because right now I'm waiting for my 2 boxes of those new Vanguard sets to arrive.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, if I can have all these painted before these arrive, I'll be in a good spot. And I'll like have it figured out and I can just go ahead and do them. Because I have a bad habit of just like collecting like the whole army and like then starting to paint, or like I've just barely started and it's like, why did I buy all the rest of this stuff? Like I hadn't even finished the first unit yet. I know the reason why, it's because I want to play it. But Michael Cody, we probably did miss your chat. Boop, boop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Michael Cody, gotcha. Thank you so much, Michael Cody. Caring for your new Sanguinius. He will cry often and at length. He has strange drinking habits. This can be difficult, but remember, he's very pretty.
What was the other dude? The lion guy?
Yeah, the lion. Lion L. Johnson. That's his actual name.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Sanguinius then.
Like, he just kind of sounds like a jerk, you know? Like, can't even handle this guy.
He sounds like he belongs in like a fraternity or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Lion the Johnson. Yeah, Sanguinius. I love Sanguinius as a character because he's just so dramatic. So first of all, again, he's basically a vampire. So he's like super pale, long, beautiful blonde hair, like platinum blonde hair, and he has this like weird, like not mutation, kind of mutation where he has giant angel wings. So he's like a giant angel. But he's also very, very emotional. Like the line that always gets me every time is in one of the books, this like tragedy happens, and so the blood angels all like paint like a ceremonial tear on their cheeks, which is like already very dramatic, right?
Yeah.
Just like, okay, guys, like these are Space Marines. But Sanguinius doesn't do that. And they say, my lord, why don't you paint the tear on your face? And he says, I need not paint the tear on my cheek, for my tears are real. And it's just like, oh my God, Sanguinius, you're so extra, dude. Calm down.
You know.
And this is who he is.
You know. I like that he's embracing his emotions.
Yeah, he's just a very passionate man, you know?
It's good.
And I think that's great. He's so great.
You know, and with the blonde hair, it's great. He can dye it whatever color he wants to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Without having to bleach it, without having to worry about,
Oh, yeah.
damaging it. It's great. It's great.
It must be nice.
It must be nice. I wouldn't know that. Yeah. I've only stopped myself from bleaching my hair for 2 years now because I'm tired of it breaking.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Mel has the same thing. You know, she's like, I want to do blue. I'm like, she actually did try purple. And it was a lot of work, and it was like very, very subtle. You know, it's the same problem. It's just so much effort.
Yeah. So. Well, right before everything shut down, and right before like the pandemic fully hit, I had done a split dye job. Half of my hair was black, half of it was Baja Blast, greeny blue. Yeah.
Fancy.
And then no one got to see it because I was just inside the whole time.
Of course.
So yeah, the leftover little blondie bits or whatever is from that. So I have refused to dye my hair because I want it to not break anymore.
Dark-haired problems.
It's okay. I haven't had natural hair in 10 years or something.
Yeah?
So yeah.
Oh man.
It's a, you know, good thing.
I've always been too scared to dye my hair.
Why?
Like,
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of like, to start with, it was like stupid reasons. Like I literally didn't want to damage my hair. It's like you have to do it for like years and years and years.
It's hair also.
Yeah.
Like, it grows back.
You can literally cut it off.
Yeah.
I know. I should do it in like pink.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do pink.
I had bubblegum pink hair for a little bit.
So cool.
I liked it a lot. It does fade really quickly though.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, you just get like colored like conditioner.
And that keeps it longer.
Yeah. It also stains the heck out of like
anything.
Any shower curtain, any towel, anything.
Oh God.
So
just be trusted with that.
Be prepared for that. Yeah, just know, like, okay, cool. I'm not trying to keep this pretty.
Fair enough.
But yeah. Okay.
How's it?
One more.
You did one eye?
More. No, I did both of them.
Nice.
One more color is what
I'm
gonna try and do, and then I think I'll wash it back down.
Beautiful. It's looking good. You guys take my word for it. Boop, ba-doop, doop, doop. The lion is actually named after a real life poet. That does ring a bell. He's still a bro though. All right, let's see. So I've tried a couple browns. I did the Garagax Sewer, and then I actually just did Rattling Grime, kind of letting that settle in. Rattling Grime definitely darker, in case you guys are wondering. Throw it on the oh! I found the Warpfire Brazier.
Wow.
It was on the Glam Cam. Now I have to go through that whole process. Anyways, let me see if I can show you guys this. Bloop. There you go. They're very tiny. Cool. So you can see the one on the left is the Garagax Sewer. The other one's Rattling Grime. So you can see the difference. The one with the sort of hood is a bit warmer. The other one is darker, a bit colder, I think.
Is it normal to really like one eye and completely hate the other?
Oh, 100%.
All right.
Yeah. It's so hard to do.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go back in and fix it later, but
Yeah.
you know, the colors are in there. We're good.
Perfect. Yeah, you're like, maybe I should just do battle damage and have one of them just be...
Well, I was honestly thinking, like, what if I just drill one of these out? He's supposed to be dead anyway.
Perfect. Like, I think you get away with it. I love it. All right, so yeah, there's a couple of browns, just trying stuff out. That's part of what I wanted to do today. Now that I found this brazier, I need to go back and go do that. So this was Striking Scorpion, and then back over with the yellow, and then Bale Tan, and then the orange. Ugh, so many steps. That's the worst. It's like when you finish a squad and you find like one guy that you missed, and you have to go and do all the steps.
Or you finish like batch painting, and then you go back and you're like, how did I not paint this guy's like one boot?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like 3 steps back.
Yeah.
In the middle of everything. That's horrible. I'll just be like, yep, cool. That's gonna be like that forever now.
I have 60 squig hoppers. Well,
60?
they're not all squig hoppers, but you know,
still
the Boing Rot Bounders. There's 60 of them, and
that's amazing.
I have the 10 that I painted on stream a little bit,
Yeah.
and then that's it. Like I think that's the most intimidating part about all of this.
That's the problem with buying a bunch. It's so scary to continue, you know?
Yeah, it was also. I mean, I learned a lot too. I learned like with the first 10, there was a lot of mistakes that I made on them because it was my first like squad kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, because that's a very different style than you're used to. You know, you do single models, right?
For the most part, yeah. I do have my conquest stuff going, but like they're bigger. It's a little bit easier to get into places and stuff. With the Boingrot Bounders, I literally had to rip the goblins off of the
That's right.
off of the squigs because I was like, oh, I'm like sub-assembly them, right? I get that the face goes on there,
Right.
but I'm like, oh wait, no, I need to get underneath the goblin.
Yeah.
And I had used plastic glue, so I just ripped them off.
Oh, and so it's all melted into place.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, they came off pretty okay, but there is still some like tearing that I'm gonna have to like go
bowel
back and
damage.
fix. It's okay.
It's flesh bowel damage.
It's okay.
I think those are called wounds.
Maybe I can like green stuff in some like, I don't know, leather strips or something.
Yeah, there you
I
go,
think that'd
actually.
be fine, but we'll see how that turns out.
I love that army. It's so cool.
Yeah,
So
they're super
flavorful.
cute. I like them a lot, but they're so small. They're so tiny.
They're very, very, very tiny. All right, let's see. So that needs to dry there.
What do I want to paint? The thing on his chest.
Yeah. Just thing. What color is that
Silver?
going to be?
Silver, maybe silver?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do gold because I think gold would take away from the fire
Yeah.
a bit.
Yeah, you want the sort of like base to be very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. I actually think I do like Garagax. The Rattling Grime, I'm getting a bit of that like contrasty feel, which is not a good thing. I don't want these to look like they were painted with contrast. That's my biggest difficulty, which is asking a lot of the paint, I know.
Oh, and the Rattling Grime is a shade, huh?
It's no, they're both contrast, but it's just so like
Too thick.
yeah. This is
Thick.
the sewer. This is the Rattling Grime, and you can see it's just very thick and kind of pooling very densely.
Yeah.
Which again, I maintain that it's good for weathering in like limited quantities. But this brown is actually quite, the Garagax sewer is in like a nice just color.
There's this.
Yeah.
There's also,
Tart. Oh, this is like a red actually, I think. It's a very, very, very dark red.
there was that shade that I picked that was like the brownish color. I don't know where it
Oh,
went.
Mortarian Grime?
Yeah.
This is Rattling Grime, which
Oh.
look, it's like almost black in the pot. Crazy. Garagax sewer. The Rage Shade.
It's in a place.
It's definitely somewhere. Is it also on the back?
No.
Oh, funny enough. This is the Croxagore scales we're looking for. We're smart. We're really smart. Oh, here it is, Mortarian Grime. Yeah, but this one's actually a bit green.
Green. True.
Which I don't totally hate. Like, so I'm doing armor plates in this sort of
Greenish color.
greenish color. So the cloth, I think I want to stay away from it. Yeah, this is actually one of those like army kind of greens with a bit of like yellow. When I kind of blended in and then washed with the brown. I've painted Skaven for my brother's Skaven army, and it's this scheme. And so like I always knew like if I had my own Skaven army, that's how I'd want to do it.
That would be it.
And here we are. So yeah, I'm gonna do this sewer and see where it takes us.
Sweet. Let me get a different brush going. So everything that I don't, or that I paint after this is not metallic-y.
Fair enough.
Ooh, where did I put that?
Did you move the water?
It's yours.
Just lost my mind. So crazy. Typhus corrosion. Typhus corrosion is what is typhus corrosion? That's technical, isn't it? It's not here, so they didn't redo it.
What is typhus corrosion? I think it's a technical.
I think it's the technical like
You know, it
the
would
texture
be
of rust. Sorry.
Great. That armor shade that they came out with like not that long ago.
Oh yeah.
But it's not one of these guys.
Yeah, that was so random,
Yeah.
especially because like this was coming.
Yeah.
So strange. Like I feel like I like they revealed it like even after I was in England, if I recall. So strange. Okay.
Oh no. Hopefully this doesn't blend in too much with what I already have going on.
The
but
silver?
We'll see. Yeah.
No, I think it'll be.
I think it'll be okay.
It'll have just enough pop. Enough pop to it.
I wish I could have taken them out for this.
Right.
There was a point where I was able to snap them out, but I glued them back in, and I don't remember why.
You had the power.
I did. Well, the main thing that I wanted to do was turn him a little bit more, but I can't do that without like taking this, whatever this like this part out, and I couldn't get that out.
Oh yeah, because that's glued in. Oh weird.
Hits it, and I'm like, okay, if I could just turn him like that way,
Yeah.
that would be cool. But it's okay.
I feel you. It's
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna start painting like little bits, which is I think the most exciting.
Yeah, I love doing all the little details. Once you've done like the work of blocking it out. One of my favorite parts. Paint spill warning. I know, it's coming. It's only a matter of time, chat. Then we'll do a review on what it's like to spill the new contrast paints.
And the fact that they sent us two of everything, it's great.
That's why they knew. Like it would hurt a lot less than if they'd actually paid for it.
That is true.
That is the worst. Yeah, it is funny. Like of all the things that they've sent us, this was probably the most expensive. Like 2 of every paint and 6 of the cans.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys really want this thing to work. So obviously I'm thankful, but it's just interesting.
I'm thankful.
These support the models, but they basically, I guess the idea is they basically send us 1 of everything.
Yeah.
And so they came out with 1 million new paints, so we got 1 million new paints. So.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, no, that's good.
'Cause I remember the major hype that came around when the first batch of contrast paints came out. And that was super exciting, getting to see all of that and getting to like, I think that was like one of the first times that I became aware that they even had some sort of like influencer program sort of thing, which worked, so.
Yeah, exactly. Have you tried the army painter ones?
Oh, the
Something
speed
shade?
paint. Speed paint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I have not.
Yeah, me neither. I saw it and I talked to him at LVO, but I didn't like sit down and try it. So.
Yeah, it was actually a thing where it was really hard for us to get them in the store.
Oh yeah.
It was like a series of like very unfortunate events kind of thing, where I think the container that they were first on for the West Coast stuff. So the East Coast stuff came fine, but the West Coast stuff, I think the container that they were on. Something I don't want to probably honestly probably
That happens. It's a thing.
It does
It's so crazy.
and I think they had to it was something where they had to like remanufacture everything and then send it over again, so it delayed everything by like a couple months.
Jeez.
And then the truck that it was on. So it made it here. It got off of a container, off of a boat, onto a truck. That truck got into an accident.
No way.
And everything on that truck was considered damaged.
Oh
yeah.
my God. That's so crazy. Oh, that's a nightmare.
And these, I think this was for the paint racks as well too. So like all the individual paints.
Yeah.
Because we were getting trickles of boxes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's made it.
Crap.
It's made it really hard for the West Coast to get them. We've now finally have the mega paint sets in, because at first we only had the starter ones in.
Right.
We now just have the mega paint sets in. So
Oh, that's
yeah, if any of
horrifying.
you are wondering, like,
What's up with that?
what's up with that? No, I haven't tried them. One thing that I'm like kind of itching to try though are the new Duncan Roads paints.
Oh yeah.
Those are cool. And yeah, I heard he's gonna be at the LVO, which is gonna be
Yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
gonna be
so
awesome.
yeah.
We should see if he'll send us some paints from one YouTuber to another.
Ooh,
That'd be cool.
you should definitely ask.
Should. Yeah, that'll be cool. All right. See, it's just so nice painting with them. It's just so easy.
Yeah, there's like not
just-
a whole lot of blending that you have to do.
You just go,
swipe
you
it
know?
on.
Like you make
yeah.
sure it's thin enough that it doesn't pool awkwardly and you just go. Which is such a nice contrast, no pun intended, from how I normally do things. Oh.
I think I made the right call with the silver.
The
there.
silver?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks great. Thanks. That's definitely the smart move.
Yeah. All right, now trying to figure out what other colors I want to paint stuff.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Well, we're all caught up on super chats. If you want to wrap up soon. Let's see. Oh, the monitors. You can do this OBS. Don't close it. Don't close it. Don't close it.
Oh no.
Why is it not letting me scroll? There. Cool. Yeah. We're all good.
Sweet.
Do you have anything else you want to make sure you get done tonight?
Not really.
I know normally one of us will have something we want to make sure we get done,
Yeah.
but we both kind of brought in long-term projects today.
Yeah.
So, 2 black tanks. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was cool because like I didn't get to hobby this weekend, so I literally had not touched it since
Yeah.
last stream.
Exactly.
So.
Which is kind of cool for chat. You guys can see. Just you're literally
Step
picking
by
it up.
step, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's what's been fun about doing these shows where we get more of a chance to just work on what we've been working on and what we're like really excited to work on.
Yep.
I like showing specific things sometimes, but it's just fun to be like, this is what we're doing today, and this is what we'll be doing anyways.
Yeah, I think having the freedom of like, oh, let's do the new thing,
Yeah.
and then go back into something
Exactly.
that long-term project. Yeah.
Exactly. Should we glam cam it up?
Sure.
See the progress?
Oh, I'll put this guy in there.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure he doesn't fall off this time. One Repulsor. Oh my gosh, looks so good.
Oh, I love those hosts. They're so cool.
There's such a good contrast to the model. There it is.
There he is.
Beautiful.
Ooh, oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
You need to like step back and take a look at it, right?
Yeah. Let me put him a little bit closer here.
Yeah, totally. I like that he's like definitively still like this dark, like basically black, but he also stands out from the rest of the model.
Yeah. And I also think once I start painting in like all the different like little bits and stuff on it, it'll definitely make the tank, I think, a lot more different. But yeah, I definitely really wanted to make him a different material than the tank.
Right, exactly.
For sure.
Otherwise, it's just so samey.
Yeah.
So samey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I'm not entirely sure if I want to do like super silvery on the barrels or if I want to keep them like dark like that. I do like them dark like that. I just think that they need something. I think
Yeah.
I might make them like an oiled steel or something,
Oh, that'd be cool.
but not with metallics. I think I'll keep them matte like that. I like that.
I think that'd be cool.
I like that look.
Yeah,
So
they'll stand out.
let me know what you think, chat. But that's what I'm initially thinking of at first. So
Oiled steel,
yeah.
let us know. Let's see, I don't have like a singular finished product, but I can throw some Kratos on this next to Mr. Mans. Look at that. Oh, he's so dark.
Oh, your tracks are so shiny.
I haven't watched them. I just realized, they're shiny and chrome.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting.
You can also see how different they are too, as
Yeah.
well. Like I think with your Kratos next to my Repulsor.
Yeah, you did it.
Yay! you can definitely see the blue of my Repulsor versus just like the monochrome black and
There's
gray.
a lot more just black there.
Yeah.
So, which we'll have to see. I'm a little undecided. I will, once I go to the yellow, I can't really go back, but I'm still at the point where I could potentially add some stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And we got some Warp Fire Braziers. Magic.
They're cool.
I'm happy
They're
with them.
pretty cool.
I like them. I'll still add a bit more, but I'll be sure to post up in Hobby Progress as well.
Yeah. Which I think is great. Like, they're both black tanks, but they're very different.
Right.
Yeah.
The Slaanesh bots. Be gone. Make mod?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm supposed to do? Oh, there's another one. Be gone. Anyways, look at our beautiful faces. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. These all different
think you
profiles?
Time them out first.
Put in timeout.
Yeah.
Anyways, there we go.
Yay.
Well, it's been a super fun episode. We thank you guys for joining us, hanging out. We have a lot of stuff coming up on Tabletop Titans and also Hobby Titans, frankly. Lots of exciting stuff in the future. Tomorrow is Thursday, which means Tabletop Titans, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, our sister channel. And what we're doing is we actually have a guest. Super exciting. Nick is going to be playing with his Iron Warriors. Of course, we just had the new Chaos Space Marines book release, and we're just continuing to roll on that. He has a really cool Iron Warriors army with some classic models. I'm told there might even be a Land Raider in the list, which is like pretty spicy.
Wow.
Yeah, look, it's going to be great.
I know what that is.
You're like, that one I know. That model's been around for like 30 years. Probably older than both of us. Look, they're going to be playing against their classic foes, the Imperial Fists. Again, my favorite chapter. And I'm excited to roll those guys out. I have a couple new editions I've been painting in the meantime. And on Saturday, of course, will be the release day of the contrast paints, so you guys can get a hold of them if you so desire. And let us know what you think of them for next week's Hobby Titans. And on Saturday, we're going to be playing another guest. My friend Shane is going to be in town. Yeah, we've had it's going to be a lot of guests this week. And I'm excited. He's going to be playing Death Guard, which everyone's super hyped about. And I'm playing the Necrons with Silent K. I'm super excited.
Oh, so those guys, yeah.
Yes, so that's why I need to actually still paint up another spider, because I'm going to have spiders in the list, because they're super, super cool with the new changes.
They look pretty cool.
So, yeah, I'm excited. And that's just a little bit of all the exciting stuff that's coming up soon. Do consider subscribing to Hobby Titans if you guys haven't already. It really does help us grow the channel, expand, get more content out there, and get more people seeing what we think is some pretty cool hobby stuff.
Yeah, also join the Discord and post up your own hobby projects, because I like looking at them. And if you want advice, tune in next week. Yeah.
Same bat time, same bat place.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Wait, what does he say when he signs off? What does Zach do? Oh yeah.
Be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and always be creating.
Bye.